right, we should be. All right, well, here we go then. Here we go. All right, here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go.
This is unprecedented. I'm Adam Klein, winner of Survivor Millennials vs. Generation X. Super duper fans, gather round. It's time for another installment of Survivor Talk with D&D.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our 318th episode of Survivor Talk with D&D. I'm Dwayne. I'm here with David, and we're just two best friends talking about the show we love, Survivor. We are joined tonight by the ever awesome, amazingly beautiful Jessica Lewis, who is already sipping her beverage of choice and snacking on her Kettle brand salt and vinegar potato chips. Hello, Jessica.
Hello, Dwayne. Thank you so much for having me again. And hello, David. I really appreciate the invite, so thank you.
Oh, come on. You could have forgotten David just, conveniently.
I'm not going to forget David.
Just
that would be terrible.
Hello, Dwayne. And then
that would get her voted out just like that.
Mm-hmm.
Make relationships with everyone as soon as possible because
right.
it'll come back to bite you.
That's right.
Well, Jessica's twirling her hair. I think she's had about five.
I am. No, you know what it is? There's like a really good spot back here. I can't help it. It's horrible.
Okay.
I have to not do that.
All right.
Stop twirling my hair.
It doesn't matter because no one's watching us. So
I know. Well, and honestly, I feel like I'm being spoiled because I can sit here and twirl my hair.
Yes, you can do whatever you want.
No one's watching except you two.
You can do whatever
you
want.
You just called
That's
me
right.
out on it. See, look, I went right back to it.
I'm not going to say
spot.
anything. My son's girlfriend goes like this all the time. She touches her nose.
Really?
It is the weirdest thing.
That's funny. I used to twirl my hair. Just a little side note about Jessica. When I was a baby, I would twirl my mother's hair. That's how long I've had this twirling hair thing. Yeah, it's not. I mean, I don't even realize I'm doing it. And sometimes I'll sit in a trial.
I was going to say.
And if I have someone sitting next to me, they'll tell me stop twirling your hair because I don't even realize I'm doing it. It's just
Is that why Adam's hair was curly at the end of the season? And
yeah.
I did not twirl anyone else's
You guys
hair.
really were close, weren't you? You were twirling his hair when the cameras weren't on.
That's right. No, Jessica.
No, I was actually really concerned I was going to be twirling my hair on the island, but guess what? I never touched it because it was disgusting.
Wow. Yeah, you would start and your finger would get caught and you're like, I can't.
It was so gross. My hair, I was a mess. It was disgusting. Yeah, so I was not twirling my hair.
Okay, so I don't remember. Are you a prosecutor or a defender?
I'm a prosecutor.
Awesome. All right.
It is awesome. I love it.
Put you under the jail. Yes.
Yeah. I was going to say you're twirling the defendant's hair and he's going, stop it. But if you did that as a prosecutor, that would be really awkward. So we're glad.
No, I have to make myself not do it. It's just I just do it. I can't control. I don't even realize I'm doing it.
Yeah.
So
as we close out our weekly podcasting run, little bittersweet moment, we will have Kelly Wentworth on next week. Yeah. Cass McQuillan. That's right. Cass McQuillan the following week. Yeah. And Jessica keeps breathing and that's her.
Sound like
sound effect crowd noise.
Yeah.
It's my crowd noise.
I love how every time you come on our show, you wear our shirt. I just think that's awesome.
Well, not every time. This is a new shirt that you got me.
Yeah, I know. Well, the last two times.
Even when we're not doing video, she still wears the T-shirt.
I know. It's pretty awesome.
It's in memory. It's going to be in memory. I'm going to put in memoriam.
In memorandum. Or whatever the word is.
Memoriam. It's going to be right above.
Next time you do your show for Rob, wear the shirt.
I know, but they don't see me.
I know.
So
I know. I mean, you don't have to say you're wearing it. Just wear
I'll just wear it.
Yeah.
You'll just know.
I'll know on the next this coming week. I will know because I will listen.
No, I'm wearing it.
Yeah. By the way, I know that you do another show. David and I know that you do a show for the Rob Has a Podcast Empire, right?
Yes.
And we're very thankful that you came over to do a show with us.
Well, and I was very, very thankful that when I talked to Rob about it, he had no problem with me joining you, which was great. And I also love the fact that I'm part of that podcast now. So it's all good.
Oh, yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah, I can already tell you're so much better than you.
I've had some practice now. I got this all
I'm a
figured
pro.
out.
I'm a pro now.
I'm a pro. No, let me tell you. Okay, I'm going to show you something because you can see it, but the people who are listening can't.
Right.
This is my life now. Do you see this?
Oh, my goodness.
I know.
We never made you prepare like that.
These are all the notes and all this. And I did. You know what's funny?
That's
funny
like a 3-inch. Hold on. That's a 3-inch folder full of paper and dividers. I thought it was a prosecution case, but apparently it's a
that's
podcast
my
notes.
why blank lost stack of
Wow.
notes and papers and such. Wow. But it's. I have to tell you this funny story, and I know we haven't really talked about the episode yet, but. When I was talking to my husband about doing Why Blank Lost podcast, I'm not even joking when I tell you he said this, because I was all nervous about it. I was like, I'm so worried. Like, I'm so afraid I'm going to screw this up. And he's like, what are you worried about? You buy a bag of chips, you drink, and you go and laugh a lot. He's like, what? He's like,
oh, that's funny.
Big deal.
Like,
and I was like, wait, no, it's different.
That's the other David and Dwayne show. That's not this David show.
I'm like, it's two different things. So it was just really funny because he was like, what's the problem? Like, yeah. So anyway.
Yeah. What's funny is we start a season. I usually have a notebook with like the plastic pages with all the bios and pictures, and it's a nice thick notebook. By the end of the year, I've got like perforated, torn pages out of a notebook with notes scattered all over the pages to read.
Yes.
That's the end of the season.
Yep.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
He's using the back of IT projects he has to do, and he's like, oh, I just thought of something.
Oh, I've had my son. Like, I'm like yelling at my son. I'm like, Owen, go get me more paper. Because I'm like in the middle of the show, like watching, like madly writing. And I run out of paper. Yeah, it's sad. It's very sad. I'm not organized.
But on the other hand, every time you do a show, you get a brand new bottle. Right?
No, actually, I tried because I want to. I gotta be a little more focused.
No. I don't mean you drink a brand new bottle. You get to open a brand new bottle of whatever wine you drink.
Maybe after I'm done.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, anyway, our last show.
Sorry, I got off topic.
No, our last show will be with Steve Helling and Steve Helling from People Magazine. And
holy crap! How did I do that? I totally threw you off. I'm sorry.
No, that's
you were still explaining like who was going to be on the show.
That's the fun of having you on. You just totally go your own way and.
All right.
It's the Jessica and Dwayne and Dave. No,
it's in our notes for Dwayne to follow the notes unless Jessica goes off in another direction. Then we'll just go off in the other direction.
Tandem.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you're good with that.
Anyway, and Andy Baker for our final episode as we discuss Survivor finale and the season as a whole. So we are going out with a bang. We had no idea we were going to go out with guests, but I'm glad we are because
I'm sad that you are going out at all.
Well, I appreciate
That's very sad.
You know, in all honesty, we're done with our weekly, but we may at the end of a season go, "Hey, let's tell you what we thought about the season" or something. We can't promise. We can't promise you.
I like that,
but we might. So, but tonight we're discussing episodes 10 and 11 of Survivor: versus Healers versus Hustlers. And the name of I don't know why they did this. They gave it one title, but they named it 2 episodes. So you buy one episode, you get one free. Buy one, get one free.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I don't think anybody said it, right?
Yeah, Joe said it. He said it about him and Mike.
Well, then the producer said, "Hey, we're going to do 2 shows. Can you say buy one, get one free for us?" Because we want to title it that, and we really need someone to say that. So just go ahead.
You got to wonder sometimes because there was that whole thing with Zeke saying metamorphosis when it was the same word that was part of the challenge, and people were like, that's interesting.
As they frantically painted an M and an T and an E on blocks. You know, we need you to talk a little longer. We're not quite done painting the letters.
But who knows?
For what word?
Who knows?
Just say metamorphosis for us, please. All right.
All right. So the chat room wants to know if Jessica's reading the chat room.
I don't know.
No, I don't have access to this.
Where's my version?
You have another, because it's on our web, but we switched to where you're not using Chatwing anymore. We're using Mixler.
Oh, Gwen's
listen, I can't touch anything on my computer because I'll break it. So
don't.
Someone needs to talk to me from the chat room, you are just all going to have to tell me because if I try, I guarantee you I'm going to screw something up.
Look, chat room, this is our show. We don't have to tell her everything you write, Gwen.
All right, I'm increasing the font in my chat so I can actually see what people are writing without screening.
All right.
Okay.
Here we go,
because
y'all.
I'll break it.
Sorry, did not mean to interrupt you, Jessica. What?
Talking about breaking our computer.
I just said I was going to break it. So you go ahead.
Oh, no, my iPad's broke. Dadgummit. Just kidding. All right. Time to talk Survivor.
That's right.
Because there ain't nothing better than Survivor talk with D&D.
That's right.
That's right. All right. So, David, I've heard that Jessica has an initial thought or something. Is that true?
I don't know. Let's ask her.
Oh.
I have an initial thought.
Well, I guess she doesn't. David, I misread your text. This is going off to a grand start. Rob's listening and going, I'm so glad I let her go on that show.
Listen, I'm following your lead. I don't know what he's talking about. I had an initial thought. He had an initial thought, but I
David
think that's in the end,
All right, David. So what's your initial thought?
Special edition David Jessica chat that you missed out on.
Yes.
No, my initial reaction to the episode is what you're asking, right?
Sure, and then I have one.
Okay. I could actually I have two basically. One has layers. And one's just annoying. And the annoying one is that Probst is annoying when he tries to be funny or talk in a funny tone. And it's so annoying. Like, cheeseburgers and fries.
Wow.
Ain't that good? I mean, oh, gosh. I'm going to puke the cheeseburger and the fry. But anyway.
Jessica ain't saying nothing in case she gets a call.
I think he's amazing. I love everything he does.
Yeah, Jessica's like, I laughed so hard. Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Basically, I wrote down, I thought the episode was great for one. As much as I liked the one 2 weeks ago, I really, really, really liked this double episode, and it made complete sense why these two were the double episode, because the strategy carried from one episode to the next episode. It was kind of vital that it did. But I wrote down, Survivor 101 is to do unto others before they do unto you at some point. Survivor 102 is take every advantage to form a relationship with everyone. Even if they blow you off, when you go back to them, you can at least say, I tried to talk to you at one point. But there were such non-conversations going on in the beginning that came back to bite several people in this episode. And Survivor 103 is, how can you trust someone that just flipped on someone to work with you, and now you're going to expect them to work with you till the end of the game? I mean, it's kind of like a relationship, and if somebody cheats on me, why would I not think she's going to do it again? And it's just crazy. I love the gullibility and overconfidence that came out of this episode. It made me laugh.
Yeah. So, it was kind of funny them walking through the woods. It's like, really? Now you want to work with me? Yeah. I think I've approached you like 10 times, Mike says.
I loved that conversation.
Yeah.
That was amazing. That was a great conversation.
Brian's like, I've been trying to work with you. Really?
Maybe, no, you haven't.
Maybe
and you know what's great?
You dreamed about it.
Completely called him out on it. It was fantastic.
I love it because, normally people don't call people out.
Yeah.
And you could tell Mike is in his high horse because he had his shirt off. He doesn't go around without his shirt unless he's very confident.
That's right.
And very, very satisfied with where he is. And he says, I can't talk about it.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
It's kind of like Adam and Eve.
My shirt off, so.
It's kind of like Adam and Eve. Whenever they were confident, but whenever they realized they'd done something wrong, they put clothes on.
Or they lay in the shelter.
Yeah.
And
that's
cry.
That's what Mike did. Mike gets his shirt back on.
Do you want a hug? No, just come sit with me. Come sit with me here. Tell me how I can stay.
That was awkward. Chrissy's like, oh, it's for the first time in the game. I'm not in control. Come lay by me, Mike.
There, I love that there was so many changes in people's behaviors and gameplay between these two episodes. You saw people who were like on a high just be completely knocked down, and then it happened it was like a roller coaster. It was fantastic. I loved it.
Yeah, absolutely. Ashley was like, where's Ashley, and then all of a sudden I'm Ashley.
Oh my god, can I tell you how much I love Lauren and Devin? Wow. And Ashley came out of, it's all of a sudden they were all play Survivor, but Lauren was the one who was
oh man
driving the train. And I absolutely loved it because she was completely taking control and just telling them all, like, this is what we're going to do and this is how it's going to be. And it was almost like they learned, like, oh, we can all start really playing the game now. And they really all started playing. It was great.
You know, speaking of Lauren, let's, if you don't mind, if we go back to the beginning and watch her path through this game. You know, she knew exactly how to play this game. I'm not going to be the odd one out, but I'm also not going to get myself into conversations I don't need to or get myself in trouble. I'm going to provide when I can provide without being too over dominant or being dominant. And then when the time comes, she just grabs hold of it.
She is impressing the hell out of me. And people were very down on Lauren when the season started, and I actually have her as one of my draft picks, just an FYI, because there was something about Lauren that she is a very strong woman who has a sure sense of self, and I think that she came onto the show knowing how the show works, but understanding the nuances of it, just like you said, where I'm going to do what I need to do to not upset people. Like Patrick, she and Patrick had this contentious relationship, but she never made it apparent. She dealt with it. She put up with it because she knew she had to.
Right. And
she would use information when she needed to talk about things that she learned when, like, the advantage was, when Cole told her about the advantage, and she went and tried to figure out, like, what the hell is going on? Why all of a sudden are you sharing this information with me?
Right.
She gets it. And I was absolutely so impressed, not only with her strategy and the way she's playing the game, but also her physical stamina. I mean, this woman was like dominating challenges, and her tribe couldn't have done that, the reward challenge, even though they didn't win. They couldn't have done it at all if it hadn't been for Lauren. Right. So she is absolutely like a full package. Amazing woman. Amazing.
She's like this dark horse, you know?
Yes.
Pre-game, I liked her as a person because I thought she was mature and had a good head on her shoulders, but I didn't pick her because I thought she would get aged out.
Yeah.
I agree.
I thought on that initial group, she was going to be the oddball pick. Fortunately, Simone stood up and said, I'll go first. But I just didn't. But what's funny about this particular episode, because like you said with Devin and Lauren, they've kind of come full circle too, because early on, Devin named Lauren as somebody he hasn't worked with or hasn't spoken to early on, like towards the end of the Hustlers. He just remembered not somebody he's worked with, didn't seem to work with people well. Like Dwayne said, she was kind of trying to find her spot early on, but staying out of the way. She's not going to volunteer to do something that she could fail at, even though she knows she can do it. She wants to be careful. So like Dwayne was saying, she was real smart in the beginning, not to stick her neck out too far, but she kind of fell into conversations with Allie and other people. And it worked. And now she's come around and she struck.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, what happens if she doesn't win this reward? Does this season go in a whole different direction?
Yeah.
I mean, what happens if those four, because who doesn't see her pick? Probst says, no, don't see the name yet. Let me build up some more drama as to who you're going to pick. Don't just pick them so fast for your reward. Let's just pause for a minute. Like you're worried about who's going to say what. Don't, Ashley, hold on. Don't pick her so fast. I know you know who you want, but that's what I kind of felt like. It's like Lauren's like, let's go. I'm ready to turn the page on this game.
And
I'm ready to take the next one.
And you know what I love about that part of Ashley is that this might sound strange, but she doesn't care what Jeff Probst thinks.
Ashley,
you know, she's like
Ashley or Lauren.
Or Lauren, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, that like in that moment when she was picking everybody, listen, you were talking about Ashley. You threw me off, all right? You could stop laughing.
5 minutes ago.
No, he was. No, I was.
The two of
Go
you.
ahead.
But I really feel like Lauren is just one of those people that like, I don't care what Jeff Probst thinks. I don't care what he wants me to do at this moment. I'm going to do what I want to do. But she has such a great way of presenting it, even in tribal council when it was between she and Patrick and she was calling out Patrick on different things. The way that she does it, she really is she's very secure in herself and who she is. And you see that because I feel like some people when you're out there, and I know from experience, Jeff Probst is sitting there and you're kind of in that moment going, wow, like this is Jeff Probst is talking to me. I don't think Lauren, she's like, whatever. It's just another guy. It's another person I have to deal with today.
Yeah.
And she just has such a great way of utilizing it and presenting it in a fashion that's not, she's not coming across like headstrong or bitchy. She's coming across as like a woman who knows what she wants to do. And I love that.
Yeah.
I love it.
You know what we're not getting so far this season? One, that Lauren is a negative person, other than Patrick. Sorry, Patrick, you're undateable now because you didn't make the jury. But nobody has said a mean thing about Lauren.
No.
But also nobody has mentioned her being a challenge threat.
Which blows my mind.
And it's not what we've seen. So this is what editing has not showed us, that they've called her out as a challenge threat. The only time we heard two things this double episode. One, we heard Devin say, man, Lauren didn't really do any strategy talk early on, but wow, I'm just glad I'm on her side. And the other thing we heard was Ryan and Chrissy. And Ryan and Chrissy said, let's pick our 7 boot right after we get rid of Joe and Mike. And they said, Ben number 7, Lauren number 6. So they see those two as dangerous, but nobody else is really talking about Lauren as being a challenge threat or even being a threat to win.
Yeah.
I mean, two people that I think could make it to the end, Devin and Ashley, are thinking about going with Lauren.
Oh my God. I'm telling you, if Lauren wins, I will be the happiest. I think I will be so happy because she will be such a non-traditional winner of Survivor, because she is someone who has all of the components, but it's not screaming at you when she walks out there on, the first time you see her. Someone like Desi, who Jeff Probst was like, oh, she's the entire package. They're not saying that about Lauren, but Lauren really is the entire package.
Right. So back to that challenge thing, because I'm here.
Oh, he has his pencil.
Yeah. I just want to remind y'all that
Dwayne has the pencil. He gets to talk.
Yeah. Hello. Do I need to go call another basketball game? She took the challenge that most of us say you don't want to win because you have to pick people to come with you on the reward, and that always ends up biting you in the butt. So I'm sitting there going, oh, man. And then, boom, 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 takes them all there. These are the 3 that I wanted. Sitting around the table, she waits, unlike what Chrissy would have done. She waits until they're eating and they're enjoying themselves, and then, boom, she just drops it. Here we go.
She takes over.
Let's talk. Yeah. We're all feeling great. Let's talk. I'm glad they didn't find the letters before she had a chance to do that, because that would have ruined her strategy, I think.
Yeah. That's a good point. That's a really good point. It would have
messed her up, because she wouldn't have had that opportunity. But it ended up working in her favor because she does all that talking. Everybody's going, okay. And then on top of that, they get another awesome feeling, right?
Yeah.
And then Ben really benefits from that.
Mike K in our chat room said that right now Devin and Lauren have perfect voting records.
Nice.
They have been on the right side of every vote.
Ooh, that's a good thing to know too.
We talked about early on about not seeing things in the edit and how we watch now, being podcasters and commentators, and I'm doing a rankings thing, and you've got your other podcast, and how we watch. And what we did not see, which I'm willing to bet was there, was a confessional from Ryan say, I only said that stuff to not tick anybody off about why Lauren picked those 3. It was the first thing that popped in my head. But I know she probably picked them because that's her group. Because that would have shown Ryan knew what he was talking about. And we're not getting that anymore from Ryan, unfortunately, which tells me Ryan's not long for this game. But it made Lauren look really good. Lauren and Devin, to me, came out of this double episode bukus up in the stock market.
Yeah.
Oh, my word.
They just shot through the roof.
Yeah.
Devin and the whole super secret spy Ben thing that he came up with.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you know what I was trying to think of, and you guys might know this better than I do. I've always thought how fun it would be to like actually try to be like a double agent, like on Survivor, like that idea that I'm really with this group, but I'm going to pretend I'm over here. I don't know if anyone's actually ever pulled it off. Ben is doing a phenomenal job at it. And it was all Devin's idea. Yeah. So it's like double mind blowing because it was Devin's idea. And Ben's pulling it off so incredibly well.
That's right. And it's so good that Probst is going, okay, next episode, Survivor Hidden Mole. It's like, okay, we're going to plant moles. You're actually on this tribe, but we're going to put you in this tribe.
That's a good idea.
And then they're going to have to pay Devin rights for it. You know,
Yeah,
Devin, you
like
didn't
it.
win Survivor, but you get $1 million because we're doing this. No, but man, Ben's doing a great job. Almost so great that he almost gets voted off. Well, I mean, he probably didn't almost get voted off, but his name comes up, you know, because he really is doing a good job. But I kept thinking, why aren't they going, well, he sure is doing a good job with this Academy Award winning. I wonder if he's double crossing us.
You know, I was actually, as we were watching the episode and all of those things were happening, and then all of a sudden Lauren started talking about Ben and Ashley started talking about Ben. And I was like, please don't vote out Ben, because in my head I was thinking of this old phrase that I've heard where pigs get fat and hogs get slaughtered. Like, don't do it, Lauren. Like, you've done so well with managing all of this. Don't go too fast, too soon.
Yeah.
Slow it down. Vote out. Pick the smart vote. Because if Ben is playing both sides, you don't want to shine light on that too soon. Like, hold off on that. You don't need to do it yet. So I do wonder about that too. And I think Lauren is smart enough to be aware of that he might be doing that.
But she did bring it up to Ashley, who then brought it up to Devin. So Lauren did kind of put herself out there, which was still kind of dangerous, I thought.
So do you think I attribute that to the fact that Lauren made the move before Chrissy to break up the 7, and it worked. And I'm wondering if this is Lauren making a move to break up the 4 in preparation for it to work at Final 4. If those 4 get to the end, go ahead and talk to Ashley and Devin. Get that conversation working. Right. That Ben is the biggest threat to beat us. We can't beat Ben. And they were all in agreement with that. Yeah. So I'm just wondering, because if she votes Ben out this time, Joe and Mike can say, you know what? She just flipped on us. Let's go over to Chrissy and Ryan and let's be 3 and 4 instead of 4 and 5.
Right.
Yes, and that was what I was concerned with. Yeah.
That's what was so beautiful about Devin's plan. Whoop, whoop, the Devin, because throwing in that extra vote meant that Mike and Joe couldn't flip on the first tribal council.
Right.
They had to stick because that extra vote had all worked out. That was so beautiful to play it that way. And then they didn't use it, which was even more smart. But yeah, don't give Mike and Joe any opportunity to pull a different rope and pull the floor out from under me. So I do think that was Lauren trying to set the stage for Final 3.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And it makes it's such a good play to then take one half of the coconuts away to say, okay, we don't want to run the risk of the 2 of them going over to the other people that are left. So we got to take one of them out. We didn't see that conversation, but I'm sure that conversation was had. I'm sure. Yeah.
So while we're here, let's kind of transition into Devin, because Devin was smart enough to not hold on to his Ryan love. You know, he recognized what was going on. He recognized Lauren's plan was a good one, and then he went on and did his own plans. But he also recognized that Ryan was more with Chrissy than he was with him. You know, and so he didn't hold on to that and go back to Ryan and go, "Hey, Ryan." He went with the new thing, which was better, and he recognized it as better. And it's just, this is Devin who looks like this all the time. You know, I mean, he's like,
got the smile. Got to throw that smile in there. He's got a great big smile.
Whoa!
You have to throw in the way he sits too. Has anyone else noticed at Tribal Council how he sits every Tribal Council?
I have not.
It's you have to watch. It's the most amazing thing. He sits like he's in a yoga pose. I know no one. I mean, like he's got like his toe, like he's on his toes. His knees are out, and every Tribal Council he's sitting like that. Every Tribal Council. So he's got the pose down too.
It's a secret pose. It's a secret Yoda pose.
It's funny how these relationships can change. Like we just thought Ryan and Devin were locked from the beginning, but every couple of weeks we get reminded how similar Ashley and Devin are, and how it seems like they keep having these conversations. We are so playing the same game. We should so work together. And it's funny because Ashley thinks she can win, but I don't think she has a chance. But I think the fact that Joe called her a goat about 2-3 weeks ago could actually come back to be true if she makes it to the final, and even when she goes with Devin or Lauren or who she goes with. But Devin's found a better relationship, one he can trust. I mean, like you said, Dwayne, Ryan, all he took was once to lie And Devin said, we're done. All that bro stuff in the beginning is over. I found somebody who's taken me in. Lauren picked me to come on this reward and asked me to be part of this 4. I'm totally in. Whose neck do you want me to cut?
Yeah.
That's such a, and like they said, life is good when you're winning.
Yeah. And I do love that Devin didn't decide that he was going to try to give Ryan like a second chance, even though he's treating Ryan like it's like, okay, like they talked. He's like, I get it. And he told Ryan, you broke my trust. That broke me. And they had a very honest conversation, which is something you also don't see often on Survivor, where someone kind of puts their heart on their sleeve and says, you broke my trust. Because now Ryan's in a point where he has to try to gain that back. And so Devin's using that to his advantage, which I think is a fantastic play by Devin.
No bridges burnt there. Good point.
And I do love that Ryan said, how did 2 25-year-old surfers outsmart us?
Yes.
That just goes to show you can't make any judgments about people. You have no idea what their capabilities are in this game.
They were too confident. You can't you can't say this 7 will never break. Yes, it will. Because they're talking to themselves. They're talking amongst themselves. They're not only talking to you unless you're unless you're Boston Rob. Then they're only talking to you. But they're not only talking to you, so you have to keep your ears open and your eyes open for that. And Ryan and Chrissy just got, like, they were here and now they're here, and it's just totally shocked them. And I mean,
it was an amazing thing to see.
Yeah.
Amazing.
But now the new group, which we've already seen, they can't be so super confident either.
Right.
So if you're ever
Which
on the
is
show,
interesting because I feel like that 5 wasn't being super confident, but for like Mike and Joe, as much as I was appreciating all of what we were watching with Mike and Joe, I should say that I don't even know. I mean, would it be 6 because Mike and Joe were there? But they were like, Mike and Joe were the ones that were being very positive and overly confident in their new group and how they were on the top.
Right.
It didn't seem like the other ones were doing that. It seemed like the other ones were backing off a little bit and letting Joe and Mike kind of take that to the forefront.
Right.
Which is a good play.
So that kind of, unless you want to say something else, Dave.
Go ahead.
That kind of brings us to the whole Joe and Mike thing, right? So obviously Joe realized a couple of weeks ago that he was, I'm not in control anymore. So all of a sudden he loves Mike. But it's like, hey, Mike, you've been my best friend the whole time. But
that hate in the beginning was respect.
Yeah, I was testing you for a moment like this, But I know for the rest of the tribe it probably annoyed them to death. But these guys took being at the bottom 2, and they, instead of being moping around about it, they had fun with it. They
were great, very entertaining. Yes.
Now, granted, Joe ended up getting messed up from it, but he had no choice. You have to go with the 4 who are offering you something when you're the bottom 2. You have to. And they did, but I just really enjoyed Joe and Mike there towards the end.
That first tribal council was like a Red Bull for Joe and Mike, and it carried them to the rest of the episode. And now Mike's going back to camp, without Joe, realizing that he was played, and used.
Yeah.
But I want to ask, because this Joe and Mike have been very entertaining, very fun to watch. But the other group, so to speak, has been kind of laid back, waiting for the time to do this and do that. How has this season been for you as far as an excitement level? Because I think it just took a big hit by losing Joe.
Yeah. That's true.
Well, yeah. I do feel like honestly, watching last night's episode, the 2 of them, was the first time that I was like really giddy, like watching the show, because I was like, this is amazing. Like, people were really strategizing and really I felt like the game was taking it up a notch, and it was like all of a sudden things got really exciting. Whereas I think the season up to this point hasn't been as enticing. It's like, we know Joe's going to probably say some stuff that's going to upset people, and we know that people are going to get rubbed the wrong way. But we all kind of know where the chips are going to fall and who's going to be with who. Whereas now I feel like we're like on the top of the roller coaster, and I feel like it's a fantastic place. Like I got really excited watching the 2 episodes. It was great.
And back to my initial thought.
Are we still on initial thoughts?
I'm sorry. Still, I asked a question.
We are still on David's first. No, it's okay. Actually, my initial thought was about these 2 episodes, and David actually mentioned it. But you have to show these 2 episodes together because it's like one big story, And you just mentioned it, so I just thought I'd say how I love these 2 episodes being
I'm
together.
so sorry, Dwayne.
For what? You didn't do anything.
I like the point that you made about how you can look at Lauren and Devin and the 4 and say, okay, since you've taken this to the next level, you can let Joe go now. This season will now survive without Joe because you guys have turned the game on its head. You flipped up the 7. And I just, surely I would hope that Chrissy and Ryan were talking about when the 7 had to break up, maybe before it was a 7. But they all we got was, I'm confident we'll make it to the final 7. I'm confident that 7 will stick together. Really? Haven't you seen this show?
Yeah. So
and one of the things that I think from someone who has played the game is how constantly you're reminded that, okay, even if you're in a 6, there's someone that's at the bottom of that 6. If you're in a 7, there's someone that's at the bottom of that 7. And people need to be very mindful of that when you're playing this game because, like Jeff said, 7 people are not sitting in the finale, So you really have to be mindful of that the entire time with who you're playing the game with.
Right. So I want to go to Chrissy here. Chrissy specifically because she has been. Oh, hi, Chrissy. No, because she has been the person who's incredibly confident about her position in the game. Right. Always talking to people, always manipulating, which is good. Always doing the things she needed to do. We all agree. In fact, I've been saying for the last 3 or 4 weeks, I feel like she's getting too confident, and it ended up biting her in the butt. So is the way she's acting now part of her strategy, or did she genuinely have all the air poked out of her balloon, or like the whole laying in the thing, feeling bad, and it's all kind of caught up with me? Or is that part of her new strategy to get in? I think it's the other, but I'm just opening the door for possibility.
No, I think she genuinely had the air popped out of her balloon. I think that she was someone who was so confident in herself and how she was playing the game. And you saw such a shift in Chrissy. And this is going to sound weird because I really liked her. After the 2nd episode, I felt for her because I feel like we finally saw genuine Chrissy.
Yeah.
Whereas up to this point, she's just been playing a really balls to the wall, hard game. I'm going to strategize and I'm going to take control and I'm going to piss people off, but this is the game I'm playing. Whereas now we finally saw who she was. And it was that was her. And I walked away going, wow, I genuinely feel for her. And I was impressed that we got to see that part of her. So I think it's genuine. I really think it's genuine.
Okay.
I do too, because she's a leader of a company that takes plans to the end of the plans and they work. She's a successful business person. And it's like she's gotten to 3/4 of her planning and to the putting into practice stage, and somebody just ripped it out from under her and said, now you're going to start over with less money, less employees, and you still got to make the same thing work.
Right.
And if we thought she was bad in this episode, now she knows that Ben was double playing her. Now she knows it's her and Ryan. Now should be worse than what it was this last time, because
that's a great point.
Winning immunity was great. It saved her because she was my pick. And in my rankings, I still had her near the top. So I was getting 0 points if they took her out. But beside the fact that I'm worried about my own game, the fact that she just won, it was on such a high that she was safe. No matter what happened, Ryan's going to play his idol. He's going to be safe. Poor Ben might go home. Wait a minute. Ben's not gone because Ben's not even working with us anymore.
Right.
Now it's me and Ryan. We have no idols, although we do have a fake idol, but we have no idols. And the rest of these people are just looking at us. And Mike's still here because she thought it would be fun to vote out Mike. Now, it should be even worse next week for her.
That's a good point.
But if she gets out of her real Chrissy and gets back into game mode, it won't be the same this week. It depends. Will she get back into game mode? And if she does, she'll be up, positive, and doing the same thing. If she doesn't, if it's knocked her down so far that she can't get back on her game, then I'm disappointed that what we saw before she can't do again. You know, I mean, I'm not saying that I want her to win or anything like that, but come on, get back up. Get back up and fight.
I think for her, though, the hardest part, and we saw this when she tried to talk to Lauren, where Lauren just the entire time. She is up against 3 people that really have no interest in playing with her.
Well, that's
and
true.
So that's going to be really, really hard for her to even try to get in and find that crack, because Lauren's made it very clear. Chrissy didn't talk to me from the start, and all of a sudden now she wants to have conversations with me. Lauren's not stupid. She knows what's going on. And I feel like Devin and Ashley are going to feel the same way. And so it's going to be a very tough road for Chrissy moving forward to convince any of those people to let me stick around, let me stay, let me work with you.
But
go ahead.
But she can but she can't give up. She's got to try.
No, she can't give up. It's going to be hard.
Right now she's given up, or it feels like she's given up. She's got to get back up, even though it's hard. Because at some point that's going to switch. Those 5 people now are going to switch around, and you got to get in there when they switch around.
Well, we already got a tease that Ben is going to sense something is going on with his 4. Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, they're a 4 to me. They're not a 5. Mike's fodder.
Right. I understand.
Yeah. It's 4-3. And Chrissy's only hope is that Ben senses something and flips back before they flip on him. I don't think it's going to happen. But that's Chrissy, because she's got a relationship with Ben. There is a relationship there from early on.
Right.
So if Ben flips back and realizes he's being played by Lauren, Devin, and Ashley, then Mike is a swing vote. Mike sits right in the middle where he wants to be and gets to pick which side goes further on, and he becomes number 4 of that group.
Yeah.
But Lauren's got an extra vote.
Oh, I know.
Exactly. And Mike knows about it. So Mike's going to go with Lauren, Devin, and Ashley.
Right.
So that's this whole weird numbers game that you got to start playing. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So Ben pulls out his real idol. He makes a fake idol, which he showed to Devin, I think. And then Chrissy pulls out her fake idol. So that covers Ryan, Chrissy, and Ben. Yeah. So now they have to vote for one of their own.
So next week we're going to talk about Devin going, whoa, that's an idol.
Now, this would be interesting. Does he tell Devin it's fake, or does he just show Devin and say he found an idol?
He probably tells him it's fake, and that's why he's doing that expression.
Yeah, but Ben's not happy with all the secret sharing.
No.
He came out and said, I can't believe these people are telling so many secrets.
Well, that's true.
Can I just talk about the idols, too?
Yes.
I love that this season.
Which one, the 1st, the 12th, or the 18th?
I know, right? But I do really like the fact that every idol looks different. Thank you very much, Survivor, because when you are actually playing this game and you're trying to make a fake idol and they all look exactly the same,
right?
It's a little bit tough to make a fake idol unless you can find a shell that looks exactly like all the other idols that you've seen. So thank you, Survivor, for realizing that in order to want people to create fake idols, you need to make them all look different. Just saying. So thank you.
Yeah, really. Well, actually, what they need to do is have a fake idol kit hidden on the island.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah, this is not a real idol,
that.
but it is a kit to make a fake one.
Dalton Ross would love that.
Yeah.
Well, the folks at Durham Warriors did that last season. That was part of last season's game. But anyway,
really?
They did. What they also need to do on Survivor the Big Game is not put cameras below survivors and point up where the idol is in a clay pot so that they eventually look where the camera's pointing over his shoulder. The camera's not even pointing at me. It's pointing up there. Sorry. That was ridiculous.
Cameraman, why are you laying on your back with the camera pointing up? What is the deal?
Listen, I will refrain from comments at this point in time.
You know what?
Okay, I got one more. Cameraman, why are we walking down this path that we've never walked down before? What is that rock?
Yeah, I tried to go that way, cameraman. Why are you forcing me to go down this trail? Oh, believe me, Jessica, we've had plenty of conversations about this and other former survivors who have confirmed that the cameras do help in the game. Not on purpose, but they do help.
So other people have actually confirmed that for you?
Oh, yeah. Not that cameramen are like, hey, I'm going to show you something, but that you can watch them and you can get an idea about things by watching them.
I might I think I might say this. I'm pretty sure that when.
Oh no!
You're kidding.
No, what happened? I started rubbing my.
Oh, CBS is watching.
Yeah, CBS just cut her off.
I
CBS
think
just cut her off.
No. Hold on.
No.
You said I'm pretty sure, and then it froze.
Yeah,
we didn't hear anything you said after. So we're like, CBS cut her off. They stopped her.
Yeah. Wow. She started to reveal secrets and say, burp.
I'm not revealing anything. I'm revealing what Adam said. I think Adam Klein was the one that mentioned that if there's no cameras following you,
yes,
there's no idol.
Right.
Yes.
Find.
Yeah.
Just saying. Adam, I'm going to take you at your word on that.
Oh, yeah, right.
Well, we've heard that in the past as well, that if you turn right and the camera stays still or goes left, then you might as well turn back around because you're not going anywhere close to it.
I will say it's very exciting when they're like right like on top of you when you're like what is happening right now? Because you're like, I must be warm. It's like that game when you play when you're little, like warmer,
cold,
you know, and then they like all back away. You're like, damn it.
So like if I thought the idol was near me, I would act like I was walking away and then turn around really quick and see where the camera's pointing. He'd be like, "Oh, crud!" Thank you, cameraman Joe. Go in there. Yeah.
I'm not revealing anything, though, CBS. I promise.
Of course not. No, absolutely not. Where were we talking about?
Initial thoughts. We're still
no.
Yeah, didn't we go back to initial thoughts like 40 minutes in?
No. See, we're not really on a schedule. We're just talking about whatever happens.
So I'm really happy that the guy I keep calling the most underrated player, according to all the interviews and probes, Devin, we finally got to see Devin make some plays. And Mike said it in our chat room, and I did read Fishback's fishies today about Devin not volunteering to be the spy, but putting it on somebody else.
Yes, it was such an ingenious idea.
That was so smart, and I loved how it wasn't a one and done. It carried over 2 tribal councils. He thought it out, and it was beautiful. Like Dwayne said, these had to have been shown back to back because it just worked so well with 2 tribal councils, 2 big votes. Got exactly the votes they wanted. I mean, they wanted Chrissy or Joe the second time. They got Joe. They still got their vote. And now they've got their solid 4, and there's 1 over there and 2 over there, and they can do what they want unless somebody decides to do what they just did to the 7. But still, it was beautiful because it worked for 2 tribals. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, and what was so nice about it too is when Devin was like, "I have this idea," and it's like a subtle idea, and I was just sitting there watching this, going, "Oh God." This is going to be amazing. Where are we going? And then all of a sudden, when it came to fruition, you were like, this is incredible.
Yeah.
And Ben pulled it off. So the whole thing was very well thought out because, Devin put it on Ben. He didn't take it. He didn't take ownership of it. But if Ben sits in the final 3, he's the one that's going to look like he turned his back on people, that he played other people that were supposed to be with him. Mm-hmm. Whereas Devin can go, hey, you know what? That was my idea, but he did it. So it's a great play for a final 3.
Yeah.
So was Ryan sitting at home last night going, "Oh, that's how we got outplayed by 25-year-old surfers."
Yeah. So for me, it was like Devin's about to present an idea, and I'm thinking of Nemo's dad from Finding Nemo. And then all of a sudden his idea is awesome. I'm like, wow, Nemo's dad had a good idea. Because Nemo's dad.
I think that's what all of America was thinking.
Not really expecting.
Oh, Lord, where are we going with this? Yeah. And it was amazing.
But oh my goodness. Hey, guys, I got this idea.
But I think Devin did say that in a lot of his pregame. I say a lot. His pregame interviews with Josh Wigler was how he was really going to play up the surfer dude kind of thing, that people were going to perceive him as that. So, that's what I'm going to play up.
But he's smarter than that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's not throwing out names. He's not throwing out things until other things are initiated. Just like Lauren made the big switch, so he offered up a plan to help her, that move for the 4 of them, work out. And it was very convoluted. It was very layered. A really, really good plan. Like I said, plus it covered 2 tribal councils, but it's like he's been waiting. Yeah. He's been thinking and sitting back and watching, and nobody's calling Devin out either.
Yeah.
That's a big threat, a big challenge threat. But Ryan's glad that he's getting this reward so that he can be strong and beat us in these challenges.
Yeah. Well, and I have to give them credit because you just said that these were very convoluted. Like this is a convoluted plan. It absolutely was. And I don't know about you, but I watched Survivor like just waiting for it all to go awry. Like this is totally going to blow up in everybody's face, and it didn't. Like they pulled everything off, and it, like you said, it lasted 2 tribals. Like that's incredible gameplay that they could sit there during that tribal council and kind of just wait and look and watch and be quiet and not say anything and still manage to get there. But like you said, Dwayne, now Chrissy knows what Ben did. So obviously things are going to change now. But they managed to pull off a very convoluted plan that lasted at least 6 days. You know, It was really incredible.
Yes. And just in preparation for something, I'm going to write something in our messaging group. So when you get a chance, just kind of glance over there. When I get a chance, I will write in it.
And you'll just have to tell me what it says.
Oh, no, I can't because okay, forget it. I tell you what, I just want to talk about JP. Silence.
But before we do that, I want to finish.
No, stop it, David. You're ruining my joke. I want to talk about JP. Silence. Okay, we're done. Okay, go ahead, David.
And things like that.
Yes.
And things like that. See, I was probes. I was talking over JP because he didn't realize JP was still talking.
Right.
So,
David was still talking about JP there. That's why it was so silent there for a little bit.
To answer your question with a question, no. What I also enjoyed about last night, you talked about how watching it and getting stuff out of it. I always tell Dwayne that I want to hear the steps. I want to hear the plan. I want to hear the execution, how it's going to happen, how you think it's going to happen from point A to point B. Like JP said, you got to have point A before you can get to point B. So I want to hear all those steps. And they gave us so much good information last night. All they didn't give us was the vote, and the fact that we never heard JP's name. But I hoped it would be him because I didn't want Ryan or Chrissy to go yet. And then when it came to the other vote, they just tried to throw out Ben and throw us off with that. But it was neat that they gave us everything except the name.
Yes.
And then we just
went great editing. I have to agree with you because it was one of those things that I fully appreciated because they gave us so much more of what could happen. And when Tribal Council came, you're like, who's it going to be? Like, it was amazing because you knew it was going to be one of those 3, but you didn't know which one. And I love that they kept that. They kept us guessing. They really, and honestly, JP was the last. I didn't think over Chrissy. I was like, it's not going to be JP. It'll be Chrissy before JP. But then it was JP.
Yeah. Well,
I wrote. Go ahead.
They did give it away when they asked him a question.
Yes, they did.
No.
They did. I wrote in my notes, if JP talks, he's gone.
Yeah.
Good point. That is a good point.
Here I am watching Tribal, and it's like, what? JP is talking? He's gone.
And the thing is, JP jumped up himself. He goes, I just want to add to that. Yeah. And I was like, oh, he's so in trouble now.
He is so going home.
He hasn't spoken all episode, and now
the most words he's said in the entire season.
That setup was so good pre-Tribal Council. I didn't care who the vote was for. I just wanted to see the plan in action and see if it was going to work. So I mean,
so good.
Yeah, it was. I didn't care who they were voting out. I just figured it was JP because they knew he wouldn't have an idol. He was Chrissy's extra vote or Ryan's extra vote. Just get rid of him. He's like an old man Joe vote. Just get rid of him so Aubrey doesn't have him anymore. And he's one less person to win. Because I was talking to folks at church the other night about this. Who's going to go? Why take out this person over that person? And I thought, if you don't know about idols, what you do know is who wins immunity. And if somebody else wins immunity, you've lost partial control of the next tribal council. You need to win immunity to keep control. And if you're keeping people in the game like Cole, who can win immunity, you've lost a portion of control at the next tribal. You want to have as much control as possible at tribal, I would imagine. And if you don't have the necklace or one of your people doesn't have the necklace, you don't have full control.
The women have been dominating, though, I must say, in individual immunity. I've been pleasantly surprised that there have been so many women just dominating these challenges, which is really incredible.
So when Probst goes, Lauren wins her 3rd challenge, she's like, can you stop saying that?
Yeah.
Can you just not say that?
Stop reminding them.
Shut up, Probst.
Leave me alone, Probst. He does have a way of calling you out sometimes where you're like, I remember doing one of our challenges. He was basically like pointing out that like one tribe was doing like incredibly well. And Adam was like, I haven't missed one yet. We were throwing coconuts into the basket. And Adam was like, I haven't missed. And so then Probst started giving him props too, but it was pretty funny. Because Adam was like, no, you're not doing that to me, Probst.
Right. So I'm about to bring up something that's very important.
Because you have your pencil.
Which is why my pencil is up.
Is it a sponsor, a commercial or something?
No, we don't do those anymore because we only have 3 more episodes after this. But we need to bring our game up just a little bit on the show tonight, apparently, because Patricia Renshaw just woke up in the chat room. She literally
just woke up.
She literally
we haven't been exciting.
Yeah, she literally said, "I'm sorry, I fell asleep. Are we still live?"
What?
Well, it's probably 2 a.m. wherever she is. But anyway, I'm just.
True. It is 11:50 where I am.
I am giving Patricia a hard time. Okay. How crazy is it?
I have my Sharpie, so I want to go next.
I have a pen.
Okay. Well, I was going to move on to the peanut butter chocolate thing, but if you don't want to go there yet, we can wait, and I'll put my pencil down.
Well,
I don't know.
All over the place. So go
trumps?
to the peanut butter chocolate thing.
Well, I mean, do you or don't you eat the peanut butter and chocolate, especially since you just ate?
That's a good point. They did all just eat.
And you can only handle so much peanut butter and chocolate. I mean, I can only have like maybe 4 or 5 Reese's peanut butter cups. David, shut up. Because he's going to say Reese's and I'm going to reach across the country and beat him up. But, you can only have so many of those before you get sick. And they had a 5-gallon bucket of
Oh my God. Did you see some of the chocolate bars were like melted? Like,
oh my gosh. It's like, I mean, that was heaven in a bowl, but still, I don't know if I do that.
Did you see Devin's hands at the end when they were clapping for Ashley? He clapped like this because his hands were covered in peanut butter.
they were like sticking.
If you watch him, he's like trying to clap, but like I'm not making any noise because I got so much peanut butter. So he just ate like that. I mean, that's probably how he ate as much as he could.
Which is great for everybody else.
It is pretty gross, though, if you think about it, because they're all filthy and dirty, and they're just like munging all the food.
Stop double dipping with your fingers. Stop double dipping with your fingers.
Oh my God!
Use a chocolate bar.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I would never for me, even, and I played the game, like, no matter what the temptation was, I'm doing the challenge. Because I'm just not going to be one of those people that wants to appear so comfortable in my place that I'm going to sit out. Even though I'm hungry and I haven't won a challenge or a reward or whatever. Right. No, I'm gonna do the challenge.
And it just happens to be 3 of the people that went on that reward.
Yeah.
See, I would love to hear if Ryan gave a confessional saying, you know what, those 3 set out. That's pretty conspicuous or suspicious. Plus, they just went on a reward together. Something's not right. But unfortunately, if it doesn't get Ryan to the end of the game, then it's probably not going to make the cutting room.
Yeah.
But I want to ask. I have a question too about the other challenge. When it my
just for everybody who's listening, we all have our writing implements.
When did this
air.
start? I don't know.
Our speaking sticks. Yeah.
We are in an intervention. And you're
this
only
is my conch right here. Okay?
You're only allowed to speak if you hold the pencil.
So in the challenge with the weaklings against the strongs, where they had to lift up 500-pound bags of wood out of these boats, and they drag without Mike falling into the water as he's trying to get one out of it. But he did it good. He actually lifted the bag. Yeah. But as Ryan gets pulled into the water, and once they got up to the beach, and who thought like me when Devin and Ben struggled to push that first log into the block, that the other tribe was never going to get a log into that block.
Can I tell you? All right. So my son and I were watching this together, and Owen is a huge Survivor fan, obviously, and he's watching this, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, they just picked the teams. They're all going to be," and like randomly pick the teams. I'm like, "Oh, and no, they actually do. Like, they stick a hand in a bag, and you pull out like a marble, and you end up on." And he's like, "But Mom," I'm like, "I know. It's like brains versus brawn right now," which was so crazy that's what it ended up as. But then Lauren, oh my gosh, she like got up there and she was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna own this part of it because my tribe is not able to pick up a bag."
Lauren's like, "I'll show you how to push these logs."
not only did she do it, but she did it intelligently. She used the apparatus and the strongest part of your body, your upper body, and push it in there. But when he said randomly, I wanted to look at Lauren and Lauren say, "Really? This is random? Seriously? Where's the fun in this challenge?"
Yeah,
because it's not going to be had.
Yeah, when they showed how the teams are divided, I was like, "Oh Lord, this." But I was hoping because what I ended up telling my son was, "Well, but if it comes down to the puzzle and they've got Chrissy and I think Ryan Mike on the puzzle, they got Chrissy and Mike on the puzzle, they might pull it out and they might end up winning." But yeah,
we talk about this a lot. The puzzle is a great equalizer, and if the challenge had started with the puzzle and gone the other way, they still would have lost, but it would have been just as close getting to the end. Because they would have probably had a lead if they'd done the puzzle first.
I still feel like there's too many puzzles, though. Like, I love Survivor and I appreciate it, but I'm like, I love straight up endurance stuff. Like, you're putting people on an island, you're forcing them to have to survive and not eat much and sleep deprivation and everything. I understand the idea of like, we're also mentally screwing with you. Like, I get that. But just like the endurance stuff is so incredible. Like, make them prove it, that how bad they want it. And in those moments when you really want it that bad, something in you kicks and you just, I stood there for an hour and 42 minutes with my hands in the air holding up a bucket of green water went up on my head. Yeah. That's because I thought I was getting voted out. Right. Like something in you takes over. And I feel like the endurance stuff really brings that out.
Yeah. Let's have them running through the woods again.
Yes.
Let's do that.
That went away too.
I know.
Good point.
In fact, that's one of the very first scenes I ever saw. The first time I watched Survivor was, I think it was Gervais. Is that his name? From like
Jervis.
Yeah.
He was early, right? Season 1 or 2, right?
He was 2.
So
was he on 1?
Yeah,
he was on 1.
Yeah,
one, and then he came back again.
So I turn on the TV and there's all these people running into the woods. I go, "Oh, cool! This is going to be a difficult challenge," and it was a challenge. And I remember that. Mike put something in the Mike K put something in the chat room that does kind of, I agree that there's too many puzzles, but he says Dr. Mike complained about how Chrissy kept getting in his way, trying to keep him from doing the puzzle well. So I guess there is some strategy in that, but I still like the idea of running through the woods.
I'm telling you, it's because it's one of those things where I get it. I understand the puzzle stuff, but it's so much different when you're dealing with an endurance thing, because I do truly and 100% believe that something in you takes over in that moment. Whereas with a puzzle, you don't have that. There isn't that moment. It's either I figure it out or I don't. But if you're talking about you got to dig, you got to want this, that's when the endurance stuff really, really matters, because that's when people really start to say, I just have to sit here. I'm in pain. This hurts. This is awful, but I'm going to keep doing it because I need to win.
You think there's also the production side of time?
Well, yeah.
Doing so many long endurance challenges can be long and redundant and just.
And it might be. It absolutely might be. But also, this is going to sound horrible, but what else are they doing?
Right.
Yeah.
Like either they stand there and tape people standing there for hours doing whatever it is, or they stand there watching them at camp do nothing but talk about how they performed at a challenge.
Right.
It's like that's what they're there to do. So I don't think it would necessarily change the outcome of their time.
Okay, so here's an endurance, and I'm not joking around. You know how planking used to be like really everybody would be planking everywhere, right? Right? Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Laying straight across something. So have them have to plank, or where they have something on their waist so they can lift themselves up, so their feet are held down, but they have to lift themselves up and have their hand on the idle. Right? Yeah.
Did you guys watch Australian Survivor?
No. Did they do that?
Okay.
Did they do my idea?
Australian Survivor, the second season is incredible. And they did a lot of endurance challenges. And I have to, I was truly impressed watching. Like, the final tribal, and they did this both with the first season of Australian Survivor and the second. when they're down to 3, they have them stand on different leveled logs.
Yes.
And have to hold on to the idol when waves are crashing on them and they're cold and wet. The second time they did it at night, and I think the first time it lasted over 6 hours, and the second time it was like 5.5.
See, that's awesome.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yes. So and they did a bunch of endurance stuff leading up to that. Like there was one where they had to hold themselves up by both their hands and their feet, like basically like a plank, like you were just talking about. They had to hold themselves up, and whoever lasted the longest. Like, I just feel like the endurance stuff is it's incredible to watch because it really brings something out. I know I've said it like 3 times, but I just feel like that's what it should be.
Or let's have people jumping off cliffs. We haven't had that in a while.
Yeah.
You know, how willing are you to jump off this cliff that's 100 feet in the air, and then you have to swim over to somewhere? You know, I mean, those are fun to watch too, when there's no puzzle in it. You know.
Yeah.
But anyway, so.
But then you got people complaining about, well, how are Ryan and Mike supposed to compete with these
tough
Coles and tough?
Yeah,
tough. Did you say tough?
Well, tough. It's Survivor. You signed up for the game, and they're going to throw challenges.
You don't know what's going to come. Yeah.
They throw challenges at you. It's your responsibility to be able to
handle
handle
it. I like balance challenges. I mean, not balance things.
That's a good one too. Yep, balance stuff is good. Yeah,
but I mean challenges that aren't necessarily favoring one side or the other. Like the reward challenge of the logs, the strength helped in the water and brains helped in the puzzle.
Okay,
you know,
right. But you could also flip that though. If your argument is, what about people like Ryan and Mike, or who want to do who are better at the puzzle component and not necessarily the challenge component? Well, then flip it around, and the people that are good at the challenge component versus not good at the puzzle component. I mean, so there's always somebody who's going to be better at something.
Yes.
And, and I just feel like there are times where it shouldn't necessarily come down to what's your strength. It should come down to what's your determination. Like, what's your willingness to do this?
I agree. I just don't want to see 4 out of the last 5 challenges be physical endurance challenges.
No, I think there should just be more. I think there's too much of this, like 3-level, like do this, then do this, and then end in a puzzle. Like that's what we see. Too much. I think we need more of a
these last few seasons, we've seen a lot of puzzles. You're right about that. A whole lot of puzzles. Because Dwayne and I talk about it like every other week. Well, there's the equalizer.
Yeah, it's like why even do the first 2 parts?
Right. And that, like, you see that in this past week with Chrissy, where she was clearly not winning in the first 2 or 3. I don't remember if there was 2 or 3 parts. I think it was 3 where they had to bring the
There's probably 12. We just only saw 3 of them. So.
Right. But like that's a perfect example of someone who was clearly not dominating, and then she got to the puzzle component and there you go. She ends up winning. So someone like Devin, who was doing an incredible job with all of the physical components, someone like Ben, who was right there behind him. Well, then suddenly all the work that they did doesn't matter, because now it comes down to a 12-letter word that Devin and Ben can't come up with. Right. So I do think that it's I don't even know if it's the equalizer. It's the separator, where you get to the puzzle and suddenly it's like, okay, we've passed the physical component of it and you all made it here. Do the puzzle first then. If you really want to separate people, do the puzzle first.
You'll have people never getting off the first stage. Devin's like, I don't even have 12-letter words in my vocabulary.
Yeah. Oh, that's what he said, isn't it?
Yes.
He did, too. He did.
Part of his plan, though.
Ashley doubled up the blocks and got him there quicker. I mean, I thought that was great.
No, that was ingenious. She did a great job.
Yeah. Well, at what point do we go to feedback in our show? Do we just ignore all feedback and just kind of have fun?
Do feedback.
No, I'm not. I mean, I don't want to.
Let's throw some in now, because you're right. If we get to 4 a.m. and she's got to go to work, we're going to run out of time.
I know. It's 12:03 right now. We're getting late.
You know what, though? In college, you stayed up later than this, so just get with the program. You knew what you were signing up for.
Listen, I only stayed up this late when I had to study. I had 2 jobs and I went to school full time, all right?
All right.
Great.
All right. It's okay, though. I'm good. My bottle's not empty yet.
Okay.
and she still got her hair, so she's
right.
I know. I can't help it. It's terrible. I have to put it
except
up.
that one little section, which is really soft for some reason.
It's a good section right here.
Yeah, it's like I found a good strand. Oh yeah.
For hair twirlers out there, you will completely understand when you find a good section. They get it.
Really? That's so.
Yes,
weird.
this spot right here, you don't even know.
Yeah.
Like it's
somebody
so
like wraps that part of
and watch
your hair.
this. Watch this. You ready? Are you seeing this?
Yes.
I just tied it into a knot.
Well, now how do you get the knot out?
And then watch this. I tied it again.
Yeah, but how do you get that out?
It comes right out. Watch.
No.
1, 2.
Y'all, this
Ta-da!
is amazing.
Dwayne, stop talking. I can't see it when you keep talking. She goes away.
Sorry.
Oh.
I'm sorry. Okay,
don't say anything. You want me to do it again? Okay, ready? Are you watching, David? Okay, here we go. Here's 1. And then we can do it again. There's 2. See, so I got 2 knots. And then I could get them out. There's 1 out. And then there's 2. See?
Sweet.
So this is my
Wow.
And the rest of the things she could do with her hair, she's not allowed to talk about on the show. So
when she was a little kid, Mom and Dad would go, look, she got up to 12 knots before she fell asleep.
That's right. Like, well, we knew how long it took her to go to sleep from how many knots are in her hair.
You guys are horrible. But yes, so I can put knots in my hair. But anyway, okay.
Hey, this is the wine, chip, and laughing podcast. So that's why you get to come.
Oh, by the way.
Hey.
Oh, go ahead. No? Go ahead.
Where's your pencil? Where's your pencil?
Okay, here. So
okay, what?
I kept trying to find what's it? Black Kettle? No.
You didn't find these?
No, I did. Kettle brand salt and vinegar chips, right? I found them and I loved them.
Yes, they're amazing.
But I
thought you told me you did.
I still have the same bag because right after I bought them, I started to decide I was going to lose weight, and I've lost like 25 pounds because I'm not eating those.
All right, listen. All right, I'm going to throw this out there right now. I just ate a chip right now. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
These.
But
I'm sorry, Dwayne.
Well,
should
I
stop?
actually had 3 today in preparation for our podcast.
Okay, they are the greatest chips ever. Kettle brand. Can't you just sponsor me or something? Because I would totally advertise for you. But I'm pissed because my bag. It's like broken. Do you see that?
You know what David would do with that, though? David would put what?
First, I would grind them up even smaller. Make them even smaller.
Okay.
Then you get a carton of sour cream. You take your spoon. You just dip it in to put a sleeve of sour cream on the spoon,
or your hair.
Scoop the chips. Scoop the dusty chips and eat it off the spoon.
So just straight up sour cream, not like a ranch dip, but it's just straight up sour cream.
Just straight up sour cream.
And then
you are going to die young.
Then
that's even worse.
Oh no, I don't do that. I don't do that anymore because I've had to stop. But no, that's what I used to do.
Sour cream is amazingly delicious, and it's disgusting to think about all at the same time.
Oh, I know, isn't it though? And then
it is. My daughter she's always worried when we have sour cream. She's like, Mom, is this still good? I'm like, it's sour cream. Like, how can it not be good?
But then
when you flip it over and it doesn't come out, then
right. Yeah. But then if you put I just forgot.
Oh my God, I thought you had the pencil up your nose.
See, I can't get past the point that Dwayne looks like he's got a height problem right now because he's so short in this video.
It's because I was down here. Now I'm
People should be watching this. Listen, the fact that it's only audio, they're missing out on so much.
I know. Don't tell them that. They're already upset with us.
I'm upset with you too. I'm going to tell them.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm telling them.
Well, what I was going to say was you add a little bit of onion and call it French, and all of a sudden it's amazing. French onion dip, right? It's because haluva, which I like to call hell of a French onion dip.
That's what I call it.
Right?
I call it hell of a.
Yeah. And Connie always gets mad at me, but that's what it says. It's hell of a dip.
It says hell of a.
But Connie says, no, it's haluva. I go, no, Connie.
Tell Connie it's hell of a.
No, Connie. So it's okay to say it because it's the brand, right?
So
go ahead.
So as we're sitting up playing cards, Dwayne's constantly saying, can you pass me the hell of a dip over there? Dwayne, are you sure you want hell of a dip or do you want the haluva dip?
Well, it's the only time I get to say it. Anyway, All right.
We just lost the family-friendly rating, but we're okay.
No, we didn't. No, Jessica lost.
Listen, I've already swore.
She's already. Oh my
I apologize
gosh.
for my potty mouth. It wasn't that bad.
All right. So I have 10% left on my iPad, so we better get to some feedback.
Ooh, feedback.
Yes.
Plug that in.
All right. Here we go. The first one is from Kieran.
Okay.
Hey, it's Kieran from Maryland. Whoa, what an episode. I really liked when Lauren said she wanted to break away from the 7 because I didn't want a straight up pagonging, so that was really good. Devin's plan for Ben to be a double agent was a really good move. Yeah, I didn't expect him to do that. Yeah, that was pretty good. He's definitely much smarter than people are giving him credit for. At Tribal Council, JP goes. You know what? It was nice to see someone from the 7 go, but freaking Purple JP... It's not Purple Kelly anymore. It's Purple JP. So JP of all people to go was just crazy. I don't know why they went for him. Maybe because he was a physical threat. I don't know. They didn't really talk about it much, but come on. Purple JP going? Yeah, that was actually pretty funny. All right. So that put Mike and Joe at the top for a bit. So they were feeling pretty good. Ooh, Chrissy was pissed. She was not happy about what happened. She's now on the bottom, along with Ryan. Ben, on the other hand, did an amazing job of acting. Damn, he deserves an Academy Award for this. All right, so Chrissy wins immunity because she believes she was a target, which may have been true. At camp, Ben appeared to be a target. You saw Lauren and Ashley talking about not wanting to take Ben to 4. I wonder if this foreshadows that Ben's going to get blindsided at some point. Who knows? Maybe he will. At Tribal Council, Joe infamously said he's feeling comfortable. Ooh, no, you don't want to say that. Whenever someone says that, they're blindsided, and Joe goes. He's out. As of now, it appears that Mike is a dead man walking. However, I can see him surviving for a little bit. I don't think he's going to win, but I can see him going to Final 6, 5, or 4. You know, it would be weird if he gets the Chris Daughtery experience, because in Vanuatu, Chris was in this situation. 6 women, and he's alone, but he managed to penetrate that women's alliance, but at the same time, that women's alliance is crumbling as well. This is kind of a similar situation. Mike's all alone, yet that alliance of 7 is starting to penetrate. Wonder if he can penetrate that alliance. That would be amazing if he can be a Chris Daughtery 2.0. That would be awesome. So this was a really fun episode. A lot of drama, a lot of heated arguments, a lot of strategy. In the next episode, the loved ones are coming. Ben appears to be a target, but he makes like a fake immunity necklace. Whoa, that's going to be fun. My questions for you are that, do you think Mike can pull a Chris Daughtery and somehow penetrate this alliance and make it in and win? And do you think Lauren is the most dangerous player there? I actually think it's Lauren. It's not Ben. Lauren's the most dangerous player. Well, that was my feedback. Thanks. Have a nice day.
I do think Lauren is the most dangerous player. I would agree with that entirely.
Because
that was quite the assessment.
Yeah.
Quite the assessment.
All right.
According to the edit, she seems to be, but she's not being talked about, so that could make her the most powerful player.
Right. So what about this whole Purple JP thing? I saw a reaction from you, Jessica, on that. Are you?
Well, here's the thing with JP. Like, I appreciate what JP could have brought to the game, but I also am curious what JP acted like in casting, because I feel like JP is just being JP.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't feel like JP is kind of like pulling back because the cameras are there. I think he's just being JP. So I'm just very curious, like, how did he present himself in casting versus how is he presenting himself on the island?
Or what were they looking for in him? I mean, what if he did act like JP, but they were like, yeah, but you're so darn hunky, you know?
And that's what I'm curious about, like, what their strategy was in choosing him and putting him out there. Is that what they wanted? You know, did they want the guy that was very monotone and matter of fact about a lot of things, but also not very strategic in his conversations? You know, maybe that's what they wanted from JP, and that's what they got. I'm not sure, but I know he didn't get a confessional on that episode, on his boot episode, and he just got that one comment at Tribal. So I'm not really sure, like, what their plan was with him, and maybe it backfired. Maybe that's what they wanted. I'm not sure.
Mike says JP had 5 confessionals. That wasn't even on purpose. JP said he had. Sorry,
I was like, "Oh, I better stop talking now. I got the pencil."
No, this is just me touching my nose with the pencil. Laura, Jessica's like, "Oh, sorry."
What would you like to say, Dwayne?
Right now, it's just a pencil. Sometimes a pencil is just a pencil. So,
okay, it's good to know.
JP had 5 confessionals in 9 episodes, whereas Purple Kelly had 1 confessional in episode 10. Just in case you thought.
10 episodes.
Sorry, in 10 episodes.
Well, there we go.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, let's move on.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Kelly got more confessionals in the Durham Warriors game over a weekend than she did in so many days in Survivor.
So we have a new feedbacker who sent in a feedback. Here we go. Her name is Shelly from Chicago.
Hi, Survivor Talk. It's Shelly from Chicago. I was so excited to get home and watch this because I thought that there was going to be this huge epic blowout after Tribal with Mike and Joe, and I thought that they were going to get into how Joe had the fake idol that they didn't touch on in the last one, because I know people were like, maybe Mike didn't tell the producers, so they didn't have any backstory for it. So that was disappointing, but I will get over it because my love of Dr. Mike. I thought it was really funny after Lauren won the reward is Ryan just had this very canned, very Survivor answer that I thought was funny. But then when they were actually on the reward, I was floored at how quickly these people were just giving up all of their secrets. Obviously, there's editing involved, but it seemed like Lauren was like, let's tell each other. And without skipping a beat, Devin was like, here's everything I know in the entire game, so maybe he plays close to the cuff. Maybe that early hustler relationship is coming into play. You never really know. But I also just thought it was interesting because I knew that Lauren and Devin had that close relationship, but I hadn't had the impression that Ashley and Ben really had a relationship besides like them versus the mom squad at the beginning. And then when we got to the first immunity, I wish I could have seen the decision process of who was eating and who was playing. Like, did Ben go, oh, I don't need to do this. I would love some chocolate and peanut butter. I have an idol. And so then Devin picked, and then Lauren was like, well, let's make it an alliance thing. And Ashley had already had to speak, so it wasn't. I wonder how that came to play because I'm very interested in it. And then when they got back to Tribal, or when they got back to camp, and Ryan was like, that left a bad taste in my mouth, and it's like, well, yeah, that's why people don't normally do it. And then I also just have to imagine that the speeches from Jeff saying, I know how hard it is to be out here, must really suck when, you know, he smells like cologne and maybe pizza because he just ate. So that just has to be really annoying. But the biggest thing that surprised me was how quickly Devin turned on Ryan. And the only indication that we really had in the show is that Devin felt really betrayed when Ben knew also about Ryan's idol. Which there has to be something that they aren't telling us, because at the merge, Devin was like, this is my ride or die. This is who I'm going to the end to. And there are certain times I've got very conflicted during the episode where I thought Ryan still felt that way. And then I felt that he didn't feel that way and that he was with Chrissy. And then we see that lines were obviously drawn in this episode after JP's most talkative tribal council, which ended up being his last. And then the second hour of the episode, I still loved. As you say, all survivors, good survivor. But I knew what was coming. They tried to throw us off the trail with Ben. But it was too soon. They wouldn't have shown all of the emotional stuff with his wife before finding the idol if he was going to go. It's just Survivor editing. I may only be 21 years old, but I still have seen all the episodes.
Okay, so first of all, it wasn't her first feedback, and I apologize for that, Shelley. I, too, was thinking, okay, who in the world are they going to try to make us think they're going to vote off besides Joe?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's like, why don't you just let us enjoy the fact that we know Joe is going home, and let's watch how they do it.
Well, and it would have been a good way to do it since the first episode, we had no idea which of the three they were picking.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So you were kind of like in that, ooh, who's it going to be moment. Right. But then, they had to kind of try to spice it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And make us wonder who it was going to be.
But we weren't really wondering. I don't think.
No, I was really hoping that they weren't going to be. They had such a great thing going. Like, don't screw it up now. That was my fear was that, and maybe that's why they did it that way, because it was such a great plan, and that suddenly they were going to get like too overconfident and be like, all right, now we can do this, where it would have been a really bad idea to vote out Ben.
It's like Survivor CBS guys. You don't have to give us an alternate. Sometimes just let us watch it happen. You know, let us watch the strategy work. Let us watch how they handle it at Tribal Council. Let us watch it,
Yeah.
So we don't have to always be guessing at Tribal.
Yeah, that's what was so good about the first hour is that we got the plan, and that was enough. We didn't really care who went at that point. We just wanted to see if it worked. But she brought up another point that I've never really heard addressed. I once talked to a guy, Survivor, that told me that the thought of meeting a female out there at a certain point of the game never crossed his mind, because you can't get past what Lauren mentioned about after 29 days, I got mustard on my pants, but it doesn't matter because I haven't taken a bath in 29 days. And he said it's really bad. Do y'all ever smell pizza on Propes or cologne or anything?
Oh my God. I have to tell you this. All right. So there's one of the producers, we call him Jacker. We did call him Jacker. His name is Jeff, but there can only be one Jeff. So he's Jacker. We called him Tracker Jacker because that's what he did. He kept an eye on us, and he smelled so amazing. I'm not even kidding you. Like, every time I was near this man, I was like, oh, you smell like fabric softener and you smell clean. And he hated I would get near him and I would just tell him how good he smelled. And I touched him one day. Like, I fixed his collar because his collar was screwed up on his shirt. And I just reached up and I fixed it. You would have thought I had a disease. It was hysterical because he was like, wait, no, you're not supposed to touch me. I was filthy and dirty, I'm like 26 days in at that point. And so those things definitely, you notice those things. Like, you just smell clean. Yeah. So yes. Yes, you do.
And then you see this
challenge, Probst gets too close and goes, you touched Jacker.
Yeah.
You're fired. You're fired.
Yeah. And then you're walking through the woods and you see a Snicker wrapper on the floor right after on the ground, not the floor.
Well, they had to, because the weather was so bad on our season. Obviously, we had the huge cyclone and, they ended up having to, it messed a lot of things up. So in order to get us off of the island for some of the challenges, they had to bring us through a part of the island where we weren't supposed to walk. Like, they literally have signs that you are not allowed past this point. And they had to bring us past that point. And I remember Jacker, he was just like, pay no attention to what you're seeing. And we would walk through, and it was a camp. And it was the production camp. And oh my God, the smell of food. You could smell the food. And it smelled so good. And we just had to kind of keep going and ignore it. But we were like, they're so close to us, yet they're so far away. Because we're not allowed to go over here.
That's right.
But yeah, it gets to you. It does.
All right, let's get to Mere I Am. And here we go.
Hi, Dave and Dwayne, and special guests, Jessica, possibly. Love you. Love all you guys. This is the notorious Mere I Am, also known as Vader Girl, Miriam from Everett, Washington. First, I want to say just how sad I am and thankful for D&D Survivor Talk. I think you guys are amazing. There's nobody who provides the fellowship, the deeply caring, the insight, the interaction with the listeners. You guys have just really given me personally something that I will always have fond memories of, that has really helped me through difficult times like holidays, transitional periods of my life, by giving me something positive, fun, to distracting. The fellowship, I just really can't thank you guys enough, and I'm really going to miss you, and anything I can do to help and just giving you guys so much love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, D&D. You guys are amazing. I bow to you. You guys are unparalleled. On to Survivor. Week 9, is it? Or is it week 10 and 11? Last night was a very exciting episode, or double episode. I, of course, was very upset, because I'm Team Ryan 100%. I love Ryan, and I think he's just a great character. And it just felt like I don't like seeing people kicked down, and I don't like seeing people getting kicked when they're down. And it bothered me to see Chrissy crying. It bothered me to see Ryan's face when he was talking to Dr. Mike. And I just really don't think those people played it too well, besides Lauren, who's amazing. But, it was one thing to do a blindside, but it's another thing just to kind of be mean and gloat. When Devin was talking to Ryan, and he was just kind of, I don't think it's good gameplay either. You might as well manage the people you blindsided. Even like Tony Vlachos did. Sorry if I mispronounced it, but you blindside somebody and then you kind of kiss up to them. They were just mean, and I really didn't like seeing that. Maybe the haters out there on Twitter and the trolls thought it was funny, but I don't like to see people bullied and picked on, or maybe it's not bullying strong, but I don't like to see people hurt like that. So it really wasn't that fun for me. Of course, I was upset that Joe was voted out. I really hoped that they would have stirred things up, and I'm hoping Lauren, and I love Lauren Rimmer. Lauren Rimmer, I would be very happy with a Lauren Rimmer win. I think she's amazing. I think Devin's becoming more of a, like Rob Sestardino said, Kylo Ren, which he is. I thought last night he got the old confessional, this is my game to win, and I'm in control, and this is great. I said, uh-oh, because as soon as somebody gets that, like whatever, John Minch or whoever gets that edit, goes. So, now I would say the winner picks are, I think Lauren's looking good. Ben is looking good, but Ben is also, by him playing, like faking that faking that he was part of the blind side. It's just kind of mean. He's taking it a little too far, and then patting Ryan on the back as he used his idol. I don't know. I think Ben's going a little too far, and I don't think people are going to take him to the end, but if they do, he's kind of just, I don't know how he's going to get out of this betrayal. So I'm still hoping for Ryan. I'm still hoping he can pull things off, which I think he could. Dr. Mike, I think, would be smart to work with him. So we'll see what happens. Great episode. Love you guys. May the force be with you. Black Cats and Kale for life. Have a great day. Bye.
I always feel like I'm in a Star Wars episode whenever
I love it when she said, may the force be with you.
May the force be with you. She used to say black cats and kale, and we kept on asking her why she eats black cats and kale, and she finally stopped saying it. I feel bad for her.
Did she ever explain it?
Yeah, she loves black cats, and kale's good for you. She loves black cats, not to eat.
Black cats and kale. But that's what I feel like. I feel like it's a dish.
Yeah, really.
Black cats and kale.
Well,
would you like a side of sauce with that?
Yes. Well, obviously, sour cream and salt and vinegar chips, right?
No, I was thinking more like a honey mustard, maybe.
Yeah. So Vader Girl is not happy with Devin and what he did to Ryan. But you know what? I think that's just because you liked Ryan so much.
To me, Survivor is one of those things where you got to leave your feelings at the door.
Yeah.
And you got to do whatever it takes. And Chrissy even said she didn't like the way she was treated, but you know what? They don't have to. How many times does the losing side come back and say, "Can you tell me how that came about?"
Yeah, that was.
When was that plan set in motion? Yeah, that was kind of.
Yeah, Chrissy, can you at least please tell me how you worked it all out? No, we're not going to tell you that.
And I loved that too, because that was. I feel like in my season, like that was something I suffered from, where I was like, I feel like I need to explain myself to people. Whereas like these two episodes, like the group that took over was like, yeah, no, I don't need to explain anything to you. And it was great. It was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really love it.
I like Joe. I don't know how it happened, so my lips are sealed.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, don't ask me. I know how to keep a secret. What did we do? Somebody tell me what we did. All right. All right. Next we have Will, the Giant Ninja.
Ooh.
And he also has something just for you, Jessica.
I love this.
After his feedback, he does.
What's up, guys? It's Will from Wonder Lake again, a.k.a. the Giant Ninja.
All right, Will. It's our last 4 episodes. Stop recording in your Jeep.
I know, and he's like clearly driving.
It's like, hi, it's Will. Someday he's going to get stopped by the police. We're going to hear,
right?
All right, here we go.
What's up, guys? It's Will from Wonder Lake again, a.k.a. the Giant Ninja. So I had every intention of typing out a feedback for you guys to read this week because I love it when Dwayne and David interact with my ideas and make fun of me and tell me where I'm right and where I'm wrong. And that just doesn't happen as much with the audio feedback. But I've been so busy today, I haven't had a chance to do it. And I'm driving in my car, and I'm going to be doing that for the next hour. So I guess I'm just going to do an audio feedback. Hi, Jessica. Oh, man, big fan. Love you, love you, love you. Wanted to give you a quick idea on your podcast for this weekend. Why JP lost, clearly violated rule number 2. He clearly schemed and plotted too much and things like that. But enough about that. There are some things I want to talk about in this episode, and I don't want to get bogged down in the JP of it all. So number 1, the new alliance of 4. I'm really impressed with Lauren. Really impressed with Devin. Yeah, even really impressed with Ben still. He's still my winner pick. I love that they acted first. Again, that's what I love so much about Tony and his game in Cagayan, that he always acted before other people had a chance to act on him. I don't think that Chrissy and Ryan were going to flip on the 7. In fact, the edit made that pretty clear. Nonetheless, I do like that Lauren wanted to get the jump on things. And, man, when she said jump, all those people just asked, how high, ma'am? Queen Lauren reigns supreme. But I also like that Lauren had the idea to flip on Ben after just 1 vote. And part of me wishes she had done that because number 2, my B-fam, my brother from another mother who ate everything they were serving with that weird little cloak and dagger, Ben's with us, he voted with us, he's pretending he doesn't know what's going on, thing that was going on. While Lauren and Devin and Ashley were considering voting Ben out, I honestly thought to myself, how awesome would it be if they flipped on Ben while Ben was playing Cloak and Dagger and pretending to be with Ryan, while Ryan's got an idol in his pants, and Ryan, my B-fam, my brother from another mother, who's eating it all hook, line, and sinker, says, you know what? I'm going to save my man Ben Driebergen with this idol in my pants. Pulls it out, saves Ben. All the votes that were cast for Ben are nullified. Ben has no idea what's going on because there are votes for Ben. Meanwhile, we end up with a tie because of the number of votes that are left over, and Ben votes with Ryan and Chrissy, and Mike and Joe vote with Ryan and Chrissy, or at least Mike does, because he realizes that everybody flipped on Joe, and all of a sudden that brand new entity of 4, which is down to 3, is taken down by its own scheminess combined with my B-fam's perception to save Ben, even though Ben wasn't really with them. I would have really, really, really liked to see that. Of course, they decided not to turn on Ben yet, and so my entire idea is nothing but fan fiction. Nonetheless, that is how I wish it had played out, because that would have been really good TV. And finally, number 3, good TV, I want to just do a little ode to Mr. Joe, Mr. Mena. He has been so good this whole season. Just absolutely fantastic television. I have loved every second of Joe on my TV, and I wish he was still in the game. He plays Survivor the way that Survivor should be played. He knows how to poke people. He knows how to get under their skin, telling Ashley she's a goat, tugging Ben for supposedly swearing on the Marine Corps, knowing that Ben never did that, but seeing how much it bothered him, so still going with it. I loved it. I loved it, Joe. I loved everything about it, and I wish you were still on the show. Nonetheless, I give thanks for the 9/10 episodes that I got to watch you on my TV. I hope you come back to this game one time in the future because I'd love to see you play again. And before anybody talks about how dirty you were, how unreliable you were, I would like people to note, for the record, that you never lied in this whole game. Yes, you poked people socially, but as far as strategic allies, you were with the people you were with. You were loyal. You didn't even vote for Desi when you knew that voting for Desi would ensure that you stayed another day. I love you, Joe, and I'm going to miss you. Well, that's all I've got. Later, peeps. Will at the Giant Ninja.
Okay, I have a confession to make.
You were the Giant Ninja?
No, yes. All of these seasons, 12 years, I have been 6 years, 12 seasons. It's always been me. No, Will, I agree. David and I actually like written feedback better than audio feedback because we do interact with it more. And we've actually made some people like, stop telling me I'm wrong. I'm like, well, you shouldn't have written the feedback then because we interact with it. Also, we are forced to pay attention. So,
okay, so can I jump in here with
please.
Ninja Will? Thank you, Ninja Will, for the love. I appreciate it. Queen Lauren, I agree with entirely. Here's my take on Joe, though, with the whole concept of Joe. Joe did lie. And I think that, and as much as I appreciate Joe's gameplay, which I do, he hit a nerve with not only the people on his tribe, but with people in the Twitter world. So I guess I could say people in America who watched the show when he started calling Ben out on swearing on the Marines when Ben never did that. So as far as Joe's gameplay is concerned, yes, he is willing to put it all out there and he's willing to go full force and with a vengeance, and I appreciate that. But he did touch a nerve with a lot of people. And I feel like Joe took the game to a different level when he did that because that was something he completely created. And he acknowledged that in one of his confessionals. He's like, yeah, Ben never said that. But I decided to go with it because it was going to help my game and kind of make Ben look like a bad guy. But you're talking about a Marine, someone who risked his life for the country in which he lives and which he serves. So that was taking the game to a different place. And so I think as far as Joe is concerned, yeah, Joe did lie. Not disrespecting his gameplay because he played the game hard, and I respect that entirely. But there was some things he lied about.
Okay. I kind of like the way he did that, but that's okay.
And I'm just saying like that was, I'm just pointing out, he said he never lied. No, he did. And this goes back to that, deciding before you play this game, how were you going to play this game?
Oh, well.
What's your moral code that you're bringing into it? What are you willing to represent about yourself? Or what are you willing to have to explain later? Because Joe had to do a lot of explaining about that later.
But see,
I'm not judging him at all. I'm just saying that, yeah, he did lie about that.
Okay, but see, to me, he knew a button he could push, and he pushed the button. I don't think it had anything to do with, and I'm not, we had feedback about this. It's been a few episodes ago, but to me, he never was disrespecting Ben as a Marine, or he wasn't, this is my opinion, or disrespecting the Marines. I feel like he found a button he could push, and that's the way he played his game, was to push people's buttons.
Oh, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, he made a determination before he played this game how he was going to play it.
And then he made America mad in the process.
And and unfortunately, when you start pushing the button of the Marine who is sacrificing himself for the freedom of the country,
right,
then you might end up rubbing people the wrong way.
Well, and CBS... they set all the stage for that road to be paved, right?
Yes.
So they set the gravel, they set the dirt, everything, because they kept talking about Ben's Marines. They had these emotional moments where he would talk about post-traumatic stress syndrome. All this stuff is true, but they did all that to feed into what Joe did to make Joe even look worse, right?
Yeah.
So, but anyway, you're right. He did lie about that. So, sorry, Giant Ninja.
But Giant Ninja, you had a lot of great points.
And apparently he has something just for you that I haven't even heard yet. So I hope he didn't.
There's more?
Yeah, it's called Don't Draw Rocks. That's the name of it. And I have no idea what it's about.
I can't even imagine.
So I hope it's clean. Here we go. Oh, no.
Is it a song?
Apparently. Oh, my goodness.
Did he sing a song?
Will says, this game has moved past the point of any real loyalty. He tries to pretend that his scheming with others does not soil me. Who are you? We started together on the very same little tribe. Now what will you do? We were birds of a feather, and now I'm not feeling your vibe. Don't draw rocks, and don't trust Zeke. Just go back to being nice and meek.
I didn't trust
Zeke. Don't draw rocks. Say no to Jay. It's not a chance that's very likely to pay. Trust clusters, voting blocks. They will rise and fall just like their stocks. And when push comes to shove, I will use my immunity idol to remind you of my love. I am Adam, yeah, and I will never die. Da 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 da. You say alliances are dying and soon they're gone. You'll be the one who's crying 'cause you are wrong. 'Cause no one wants a tie vote, and I won't be changing my vote. Make sure you vote how I vote. Just know your vote is my vote. Forever and ever. And ever and ever and ever. Don't draw rocks. Don't vote with Brett. That is surely something you'll regret. You'll go home, buy my pen, and I will go to Final 3 with Ken. You'll go home, oh, and then you will never make the show again. 'Cause when push comes to shove, I will steal your time with family to remind you of my love. I am Adam, yeah, and I will never die. Da 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 da. You're on the jury. Da 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 da. I am Adam, yeah. I will never die. Da 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 da.
Applause. You know, that's how he does all of his closing arguments in court.
Well, you know, I don't know if I should feel offended or if I should feel like impressed. I'm struggling right now.
Yeah. Well, first of all, that's better than any parody I ever did.
Wow.
I don't know if you
That was a lot.
Kage-on, I did like 7 parodies, but that Giant Ninja, that was better than any of them. That was
crazy.
Now, Jessica
disagreed with it. It took me a while to figure out what song he was utilizing, and then I was like, oh, it's that one.
Well, which one is it?
Well, like da 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 da.
Oh, okay.
Like it took me a while to get there, but so as far as Adam, if he was being Adam, which I think he was claiming to be, Adam and I were on the same side. Adam and I were not planning to vote with Zeke. We did not trust Zeke, and we went to Rocks, even though I didn't want to, because we were hoping that wouldn't happen. But yeah. I don't really know how I feel about that song.
Yeah, Giant Ninja. You know, she really liked you until that.
I was loving the Giant Ninja, and now I feel like I've been like put in a corner. Like Don't pick rocks. You're never coming back. Like, no one's going to put you on Survivor again.
There was no hair curling during that song.
No, I was confused.
Yeah. See, you can tell when Jessica's happy because she does this. And during that whole song, she never did this.
This being the hair twirling.
Yes.
No, it was,
no knots were tied.
I think that was supposed to be Adam. And Adam wanted me to stay in the game because I think Adam's plan was to take me to the final 3.
Yeah.
Even though I think I would have beat him in the final 3. I love you, Adam, but that was my idea. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Moving on, I digress. This is not about me. This is about season 35.
That's right. Well, we have one more feedback, and then it's probably going to be about time to wrap it up so you can go to bed.
No, it's 12:44. Do you realize that?
I know. I'm sorry. I had a basketball game I had to call.
You know what? You guys realized, you're like, as soon as we start this, it's not even going to matter. Jessica's just going to sit here and take it. So it's okay.
Oh, well, then we'll
she's
just
not going to cut us off after like 20 minutes and be like, I have to go to bed.
Well, yeah, well, then we'll just go on. We'll bring up some other great question that you just have to answer. And
this is how much of my beverage I have left, just so you know.
Oh, wow. She's gone through a whole bottle of her beverage.
It's not a whole bottle.
I know. But that explains what you did earlier. They're in the middle of a feedback.
Shut up.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
Here we go.
What's the next one?
That's why we're not on video anymore.
Yeah, right.
It makes it easier because I don't have to like hide my reaction to Dwayne putting the pencil against his nose.
Yes, and stuff like that. Yes. All right, Gwen, who is in our chat room, I believe she's still in there. Is she? Maybe
I don't know. Did she hang on this long?
Well, she usually does. Anyway, this is from Gwen. It says, hello, D and D and J. David, stop, collaborate, and listen.
I already love her.
Yes. First of all, I am really confused. Everyone keeps talking about some dude named JP, and I don't know about whom they are talking. I don't know. I did not end my sentence with the preposition. Okay, let me finish that. Okay. And I don't know about whom they are talking. I did not end my sentence with the preposition. A preposition is a terrible word to end a sentence with. Oh, gosh. What was I talking about? Oh, well, apparently it wasn't very important. Since you have Jessica on the podcast, I thought it would be fun to talk about why each player will lose Survivor.
Ooh.
But
she's got my attention.
Yeah, but why did she say, since you're on the podcast, what is she trying to say? Why you lost? Is that what she's trying to...
I picked a rock.
She does a podcast about why people lose.
Oh, yes, of course. All right.
Yeah, and I picked a rock.
Lauren will get tangled up in screen seaweed and won't be able to make it to Final Tribal Council. That's too bad because she would have had a good shot at the million. Ryan will be medically evacuated after his breakdown regarding not having anything in his pants about which to brag.
Wow.
He did have one of the funniest lines this week. Things are so bad, I couldn't even win a veggie wrap.
Yes.
Couldn't even what?
Couldn't even win a veggie wrap.
Yes.
Oh, that is true.
Yeah,
you know, yeah. That's a good line.
And then she wrote, Ashley who? All right, here we go. Mike will realize that he should have stripped for peanut butter and chocolate. He will make it to Final Tribal Council and try stripping for the jury. Unfortunately, he will not have learned anything from Cameron or BB19.
Oh, my word.
All right. Chrissy will experience a system shutdown after the tie at Final Tribal Council. Does not shutting down now.
Oh, my word. That's great.
Oh, sorry, Gwen. Gwen always gets me on these. Back to Mike. Unfortunately, he will not have learned anything from Cameron on BB19. There you go. See, I don't watch Big Brother, so I didn't catch that. All right. Devin. No, I'm sorry, Ben.
I'm trying to understand the connection there. Okay,
she said Mike needed to strip and to win, and she said he didn't learn from Cameron on Big Brother 19.
Okay.
Ben will realize what it really means to know someone well enough to let them wear your cowboy hat. With this revelation, he will have a major identity crisis and quit the game.
Oh, my God. There's a whole lot of stuff happening in the last 7 days.
Yes. Devin will get the majority of the votes, but will be disqualified because you have to be a human to win Survivor. They won't discover his divinity until right before the live reunion. His divinity.
Oh my word, his divinity?
Well, last week or 2 weeks ago, she talked about how whenever he spoke in tribal, the angels sang and all the music changed and the angels. Oh,
he's the shining star.
Nice.
Yes, yes. It's not Christmas; it's Devin-miss. Okay, we'll just go on.
I'll give you credit for that.
Yeah. Joe, you might not be a unicorn, but you will always be my favorite brony.
I like this girl. Gwen, you're great.
Yeah, sorry, D&D, but it's your fault for leaving me. Santa Barbara out. Gwen from Santa Barbara.
Aw, Gwen.
Yeah. See, this is the problem, Gwen. I've been so busy that I didn't get to read your feedback before. Next time, I promise, I will read it ahead of time and be ready and know what's coming. Because that's
Gwen,
the problem.
do you follow me on Twitter? Follow me on Twitter. You're really funny.
All right,
I don't know
Gwen.
if you follow me on Twitter. It's so people use different names. But anyway, Gwen's funny.
She will answer that in about 6 seconds because they have about a 6 to 8 second delay. So I'm talking to give her a chance.
So while we're waiting for that,
Wait.
At this point of the game, and in relation to our feedback, who beats everybody at Final Tribal?
Oh,
man. Okay.
Right now, I feel like I shouldn't even say this. Go ahead, Dwayne. You go first. Because I don't know if I should because I don't want to wreck any of my predictions.
Well, I just want to finish the Gwen thing, and then we can go on to this amazing question.
This is her part of her feedback. She talked about why people are going to lose.
Oh, okay. Well, she says, you liked my tweet. I do follow you. You liked my tweet like an hour ago, LOL.
Okay, perfect.
So there you go. And now you have a feedback to go with that, Gwen. All right.
All right, that's good. Because now I know who Gwen is.
Yes.
The problem is there's so many followers, I don't know who everybody is.
Right. Okay,
I'm going to
David.
go back and check.
David, ask your. Oh, Gwen says, haha, you flatter me. Wow. Gwen used to love us, and now you had to show up.
Gwen, you're adorable. I love you.
She only listens for our friends. She doesn't listen for us.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, now she's getting a little awkward. I'll DM you, Jessica. I'm going to direct message you.
DM me so that way I know exactly who you are.
That's right.
Yeah, all those DMs work out well.
Don't be jealous, David and Dwayne.
What she
you
says,
guys are leaving the Survivor world.
She wrote,
I've got Gwen now. She's mine.
Yeah, she wrote, well, D&D are leaving.
That's right. So I can take over Gwen. Love you, Gwen.
We're not leaving. We're just going silent.
Yeah.
That's enough to be considered leaving.
Yeah. Poor Patricia. Her podcast keeps going in and out. So she keeps losing us. All right, David, ask your question.
At this point, with the how many do we have left? 7, 8?
Yeah, not much.
7. Who wins against everyone? I mean, who has no chance of losing if they go to Final Tribal?
Oh, okay.
Who wins against everyone?
I mean, there's still going to be
Dwayne.
more drama. There's still going to be more drama, but I mean, who as of right now, who wins against everyone?
Oh,
Dwayne, you go first.
Oh, I'm horrible at these. Let's let David go first.
David.
Oh, I'm just asking in general. I don't have a planned answer. I didn't really think about it until her feedback. I think at this point, I think Ben
beats everybody.
Could probably still beat everyone. I don't know. I actually think Devin has a pretty good chance because Lauren's I think Devin's going to get more credit than Lauren will for all the stuff that just went down.
I don't know. Maybe. Yeah.
I think
I don't know.
Lauren, if it's Lauren, Devin, and Ben in the final 3, that's going to be an incredible final 3 because they could all win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't see that being a final 3 because I think they're all smart enough to realize that that's a really bad final 3.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I think that they're all in a really good position right now to take it.
Yeah.
But I think Devin would take Lauren because I think he feels he would beat her. Of course, Ashley said this is her game to lose. I don't know what game she's talking about.
Yeah,
but
I totally wrote that down because I was like, oh, that's such a bad thing to say. It's your game to lose.
Yeah.
It's not a good thing to
and
say.
Devin feels like he's in the best seat in the game but he did have good valid points in that I know where the idol is. I know who's got any advantage. And I know what people are thinking because everybody's telling them everything.
Right.
It's like he's on the receiving end of so much information, and he's doing a good job of not necessarily sharing all of his. So I do feel like he's in a good place.
And that's where next week will be interesting, because if Ben, who has an idol and makes a fake idol, does he tell Devin? Does he tell Devin what exactly it is?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because that will be another level to that. Does Ben have more information than everybody else at that point?
Yeah.
Right now, he's
depends on what Ben does.
Right now, he's the only one that knows he has an idol, and I hope he sticks to that and doesn't share that one.
Mm-hmm.
But
right now, the more we talk about it, the more I'm leaning towards Devin could beat everybody, because he can say, "Look, this whole time you thought I was just some surfer dude, but this is how I played the game. This is what I did," and speak very intelligently at the tribal council and just blow everybody's mind.
And you know what? If he does that, absolutely, yeah. I think he could win.
And smiles. I don't think the man has ever not smiled.
I think to play along with that, the way he treated Ryan, like you talked about earlier, is how he would speak at the final tribal if he's there, and that would win him votes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would make people feel like they would understand their wrongs versus him having to defend himself. He'd be able to almost make them feel like they were in the wrong if he does the same thing he did with Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that this is going to be one of those votes like in my season where it was everybody for one person versus nobody for anyone else. I think this is one of those seasons where it's going to be close, if not a tie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We'll see.
Gwen says she can't DM you, so maybe you need to follow her. Well, you may need to follow her first for her to be able to direct message you.
I think that's wrong, but I'm gonna work on that right now.
Well, because you might have it.
Yeah. That's the tune.
Okay. You might have yours set up where only people who you follow can direct message you, so you don't have 4,000 people direct messaging you.
Hey, what's her Twitter handle?
She just tweeted at you. She said,
I tweeted at you just now. So, boy, Vader Girl really doesn't
I'm checking. I've got my cat rolling down the stairs.
Yeah. Here, let's play some music.
I guess because he turned on Ryan, her favorite.
Yeah.
Who?
Here,
what? I'm on Twitter right now. I'm busy.
Vader Girl hates.
I'm sorry. Are we bothering you at 1 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah.
I know, right?
Here,
I should be in bed.
I'll just play some music while you're doing this, okay?
Da 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 da.
In the backseat, now I'm smiling from the stage while you were clowning.
Gwen, there you are. Tweet. She just sent me a tweet. That was great. All right, Gwen, I got you now. I got you, lady.
Hey, we got to listen to.
All right,
some
I'm now
Dragons.
following Gwen. Gwen, you can DM me.
There you go.
You're funny.
But you don't have her phone number like I do. Boom.
Why do you have Gwen's phone number?
Not Gwen's.
Right?
Jessica's.
I was going to ask the same question,
No,
but
I had
I
Jessica's phone
I
number.
just said,
Wow. Sorry.
You put that out on a podcast.
Gwen, you don't have Jessica's phone number. You may have her following you on Twitter, but I got to text her today.
Yeah, you can't save this now, Dwayne. Good
Whatever.
try.
I didn't even realize where y'all were going with that. That's how innocent I am. So anyway,
keep playing that.
Whatever. Gosh,
Trying
y'all are, shut up, guys. Seriously. All right. No.
There's only one card in the deck. You already burned it.
All right. Do you have anything else
You
for
said
Jessica before we let her go to bed? Because she's going to get up at 5 a.m. and go, I hate
me?
David and
Yeah,
Dwayne.
I'd like to go. Gwen, I'll get with you in the morning, I promise. Or at least today, just later.
She'll tweet you at 5 a.m. when she gets up later today.
Gwen calls me creepy McCreep person.
McCreeperson.
Yes. McCreeperson. Gosh. All right. Well, I don't have anything else if y'all don't. Jessica, do you have anything final that we didn't talk about that you're not going to talk about on your next show, or that you?
Well, I'm sure there will be a lot more that I'll talk about on my next show.
Well, yeah.
Because, so
You're
that
talking about
happened.
JP, so you got a lot more to talk about.
Exactly, I have a whole lot to talk about JP.
Yeah.
And things like that.
Right.
So,
hey, you know what you should do?
I do have to say, David and Dwayne, and I mean this, thank you so much for your support of me as a survivor, because that has meant the world. Having people like yourselves support people that play this game is something that's indescribable. And it really, truly does mean so much. So thank you so much for that and for allowing me to be part of your world. I've loved it. It's been super fun. I'm definitely going to miss you both. So you better continue to DM me and keep me posted. And maybe I'll start watching Star Trek, and maybe I can come on and like do one of your other podcasts. I don't know. That would be crazy, right?
We'll take you up on that.
Yeah. Hey.
You know what's funny? When I said that, Dwayne's face like lit right up. You didn't see it, but I did. I saw the.
And we saw your face go, oh, did I just do that out loud?
And you're like, oh no, Dwayne just said something stupid on the air. Now I did.
No, so I will, I would love to still be a part of whatever you continue to put forth, because you have a following, you have people that respect you and listen to you, and I think you guys are great. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you for that. We will take your compliments and accept them.
Aw.
How's that? Because it's now that we're ending our podcast, it's like, wow, people are saying lots of nice things about us. Maybe we shouldn't have ended.
They like us. They really like us.
Wow, people really like me. But actually, seriously, we still do have Movie Talk with D&D and Rewind Fast Forward with D&D. And occasionally we'll do a show with those. And now that we know you want to be on one of them.
Keep me posted. Let me know what's happening.
Yeah, maybe this last season of Star Trek. Oh, my goodness, it was so good.
I might have to catch up.
Oh, man, CBS All Access.
I'm more of a Walking Dead girl.
Hello.
You and David.
Okay.
I even gave Dwayne my compendiums to read, and I don't think he read them.
David, listen, you and I could go on for hours about Walking Dead and how much it's horrible right now.
Yeah, it's kind of hurting. But I'm not a horror movie person. I'm not a zombie person. So a friend of mine said, "Look, just read the comic. Just read the comic and see what you think." I read the comic, and then I watched the first 4 seasons in about a month, and it just blew me away. And then I got to the seasons that we're at now, and it's like, wow.
Yeah, my biggest problem with this season, even though I know this is about Survivor, and I'm sorry, Dwayne, but really, the zombies can take down a tiger? You've got to be kidding me.
Wow.
Now, have you ever read the comic?
See, I was thinking that same
I've not
thing.
read the comic.
So
look, he has his pencil. He's like, I'm not allowing this.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep talking while he's flinging his pencil around.
No.
But some of the things are in the comic. So I know some things that are coming, and a lot of things are not. But
really,
my problem is the naked people in the trash pile, and why they talk the way they talk, and why are they walking around with just aprons on. I don't understand.
What?
There's so many things there that I just question, and that was one of those ones where I was like, I can't watch the show anymore. I can't, because that doesn't make any sense.
I'm so not disappointed that I don't watch this.
All right, listen, I'm going to start watching Star Trek.
Really
okay? I'll watch Star Trek. I'll catch up. Whatever. I don't even know where you guys are.
Okay, well,
at.
first of all, you can't say Star Trek. You have to say Star Trek.
Okay, Star Trek.
Thank you. and if you ever eat a Reese cup,
we can eat Reese cups while we're doing
I may not ever let you on the show.
Listen, here's my issue. All right, I'm going to go back many, many years. Are you ready for this? So I was, I don't know, maybe 6 years old. Mm-hmm. And I can remember being at the drive-in, which was not too far away from my house, and watching Star Trek when I was like 6. And it was like the original, like, here it is, here's the movie. And that horrible, horrible, horrible scene when they
put the helmet on the guy's head.
The helmet on the guy's head. You saw it coming, and and that grub thing crawled into his ear.
Yes.
Is still like burned into my brain
and you were
to
6?
this day.
You were 6.
And I am deeply disturbed by that image.
Yes.
And that moment. So I have to get over that moment.
It's funny because that's the most respected movie of the old movies.
Oh,
The Wrath of
Is that the one that
Ricardo Montalban
dies in at the end?
No, spoiler alert.
Is it the next
movie.
That's the next one. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go to that too because that's one of the other. I remember.
No. I apologize. It is the end of that one because Khan blows up the ship and sets off a problem that Spock stops. Yeah, you're right. It is that one.
So Spock is behind that glass and like his hand is like going down and he's like dying. Okay, so those images are literally burned in my brain. Like I remember that like it was yesterday, and how much it affected me that I like watched him die. I watched that thing crawl into the ear of that person.
Yeah.
So clearly, I have this aversion to Star Trek because of what I saw when I was like 6, maybe 7. I don't know. But needless to say, I was young and I watched it. But that doesn't mean I'm not willing to put myself out there and I'll
Yo, it's just coincidence.
And he has the pencil under his nose
it's
again.
Just
Can
coincidence.
you hold it with your nose? I want to see you hold it with your nose. You ready? Yeah, watch this, right?
Oh, like that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but watch this. Can you plug your nose? You ready? Do it. Come on, can you do it?
No.
Oh, I think he can do it. Are you plugging your nose?
Yes.
He knows how to take those pictures. He knows how to take those pouty pictures.
Yes.
I think Dwayne's got it.
Yes.
He does.
All right, so let me tell you about this season. You don't have to know anything really about about Star Trek to enjoy. Yeah, this is Survivor Talk with D&D / Star Trek. You don't have to know anything about the history of Star Trek to enjoy this. All right?
Okay.
So you don't have to know about the slug in the ear or something like that. This can stand alone by itself without ever having watched Star Trek. All right? Now, normal TV just doesn't have anything on like AMC and FX and HBO and Netflix. They can't compete. The quality of the shows, the cinematography, the writing, nothing is as good until CBS did this. This series is phenomenal. It's phenomenal writing. It's phenomenal cinematography. It's a great story. And I'm just telling you, I want to do a rewind fast forward about it because it is so good.
All right. I'll watch it.
You have to have CBS All Access to watch it, which I know they gave you that for free since you were on the show.
Back up.
It was part of your package.
Yeah, no, I didn't get any special packages for being on Survivor, let me tell you. So, but I will, you know what? I'll talk to my husband and I'll see what we have access to as I make air quotes here.
Yeah.
We'll get this figured out. He's a Star Trek fan, so I think this will be an easy sell.
Well, if you'll watch it and you like it, then I think that'd be a great. I mean, obviously, we would do a show for every episode. You wouldn't have to come on for all of them, but you could come on.
Do you have like a Star Trek blanket that you hang up behind you like you do with the Survivor?
No, because I'm not a big. I'm actually not a Trekkie. I just enjoyed this season a lot.
So, what are you going to do with your Survivor Outwit Outplay blanket?
Whoever sends me the most money can have it. No, this was actually given to me by Mike K, who is in the chat room.
Hi, Mike K. That's a great blanket.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but it's fantastic.
It's a blanket. I've never used it as a blanket. It's a giant buff.
I do also enjoy your board behind you with your proverbs. I always enjoy that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which no one gets to see anymore, but
I like it.
So it's remained the same one for the last month. Because there's no need to change it anymore.
I know, because no one sees you.
That's right. And let's see. Then behind me, let's see. I got my minion, my Survivor Talk with D. Hey, you don't have a Survivor Talk with D&D mug, do you?
I have a T-shirt.
Well, you need a mug.
I just have a T-shirt.
You need a mug.
I need a mug.
Let's see. Oh, I got Bubba.
Now, is it going to be like worth more money now that you guys are like no longer doing this show?
You know what? We can't sell these shirts or mugs for nothing. If I put them on there for $4 a piece, people would not buy them. I have like 12 shirts and mugs and everything on our Survivor Talk place, and it's about to go gone. So if you want to buy something, now's your shot.
Do it.
Not you, but
get on there. Buy this shit. It's good stuff.
I'm not selling any of that. I'm selling shirts and cups.
I have a shirt, and it's amazing.
Yes.
All I'm saying. It's good stuff. Buy it.
Yeah, that's right.
Because these guys will be like artists. Once they're gone.
No.
Everything that they've created will go up in value.
Yeah.
So get the t-shirts, get the mugs before it's too late.
Yeah.
There's like 4 episodes left. Do it.
3 after this one, so.
3. Yeah. So get on this. Buy it already.
Get on it now.
It's
buy a shirt or a mug or both.
Exactly, buy both.
That's right. And, all of our shows will be available for free.
My mother was very concerned because she heard how late this was going to be.
Oh, yeah. Well,
She wanted to make sure it was going to be recorded so she could listen later.
Oh, nice.
So I did tell her yes.
To end it as quick as possible, since Dwayne's going to ask me in a second if I have any last words, I'll share. Since you shared your scarred for life moment, I'll share mine, which was also in a movie theater. When I'm in a theater and the movie starts, actually when the trailers start, I don't want to talk and I don't want to be talked to unless I'm looking at my son or my family and saying, we're going to see that. Or my wife looks at me and I say, that's a chick flick. You can bring your friends. I'm not coming to see it. But when I was young and me and my mom and dad went to see Conan the Barbarian, my mother tried to pronounce his last name very poorly out loud in the theater. To this day, I refuse to speak when a movie starts because of what could be heard or what could be said. And I am scarred for life of speaking out loud when the movie starts, trying to pronounce anything or say anything. She had no idea what she was saying.
Wow.
But it sounded horrible.
What did she say?
Yeah.
You got to tell us.
She tried to pronounce his last name and did it very poorly.
I know.
So what
Arnold's
did she say?
We want to know
Barbarian?
No, Arnold and his last name.
Oh no!
Oh, so
she did it very poorly.
Actor.
Oh, that's why That's why you can't say it because you will offend millions of people.
I got you now because I was like barbarian.
Wow.
How else do you pronounce that?
Barbarian?
No, the actor's name. Yes, it came on the screen.
Barbarian?
Is this show about a barber?
It came on the screen and she read it out loud.
Conan the Barber, I am. Conan the Barber, I am.
Yeah, that's quite funny. All right, so we've shared our stories. So you all have to now listen to our scarred stories.
That's right.
And it's 1:11 in the morning.
I know. Well, for all of those who are wondering, our shows will stay on iTunes. Our website will stay up. Our Facebook group always be there, and for y'all to talk in. By the way, there's somebody in our Facebook group that says they're Jessica Lewis, but they're not. So if you want me to, I will ban them. And
here's the
join
thing.
it.
Everyone who's listening, he's got his pencil up as he's telling me this, okay? And I've stopped twirling my hair. This is a serious moment.
Yes.
So, yeah, if you're not Jessica Lewis, don't pretend to be. I mean, you can appreciate me, you can like me, that's cool. But
she even has your picture up there.
Oh.
So
I'm I'm kind of like cool, like someone likes me.
Well, except
she's had enough of that drink. She's actually kind of cool with it now.
Except I thought you were.
It's weird. Okay, because here's the thing. I got to back up. Like, I do look at people's Twitter, and like honestly, like I was trying to find Devin's Twitter, and I don't think Devin has one. But there's like 4 other Twitters with Devin Pinto.
Of course.
So is your name actually Devin Pinto, or are you pretending to be Devin Pinto? I don't know.
Yeah.
So you kind of confuse people when you do that. And that's why I feel like maybe at the real Chrissy did it the way she did because she put the real Chrissy. So I don't know. But if you want to pretend to be me, just make sure it's all like even keel.
Well, but what annoyed me about it is I thought, she's part of our group. So I'll start tagging her in things.
Oh, see, that's not okay. I'm not okay with that.
All
Don't mess with David and Dwayne. That's not fair.
So your new best bud is Gwen is asking if you've ever seen Psych.
Psych. No, I haven't.
Oh, gosh.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'm not the only person that hasn't seen it. Thank you.
All right. Gwen also wants to thank you for cheating on David Bloomberg with us.
David Bloomberg was really supportive of this, so I have to give him a lot of props.
See,
David
Gwen?
is incredible. David Jones, you're incredible too, but David Bloomberg is also he's been really, really wonderful through this whole process and allowing me to learn from him and also feed me desserts when I met him. So that was great. Thanks, David Bloomberg.
Yeah. All right. Don't forget, Ryan Kaiser will be blogging for somebody that Jessica knows very well next season.
Ooh.
I don't know if I'm supposed to announce it, so I'm not, but let's just say...
you just didn't say anything about that.
Let's just say that I reached out...
Clearly, like, that wasn't just put out there over the airwaves.
Let's just say I reached out on Ryan's behalf without him knowing, and next thing you know, he's got himself a pretty good gig next season, so I'm happy for him.
Ryan?
So, yeah, Ryan Kaiser.
Oh, I thought you meant... Okay, moving on.
Sorry,
Keep going.
yeah, Ryan's our blogger. He's great. But so we'll
I was
just
thinking the other Ryan,
No,
the
you
Ryan
weren't.
from the show.
No, you weren't. You were thinking of Ryan Kaiser, right?
Yes, I was completely thinking Ryan Kaiser from the show.
Exactly. That's why you were so excited.
What did I just say?
I don't know. It's like it's too much alcohol or something.
No. It's 1:14 in the morning.
Oh, yes.
That's what it is.
Well, on that note, thank you for staying up with us for tonight's episode.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it greatly. It was awesome.
Only 3 more left. David's already given us his final words. So that's all, folks. We will see you later. Bye.
Fabulous. Bye-bye.
See ya. Bye.
Survivor Talk with D&D is a production of D&D Podcasting and is hosted by David Jones and Dwayne Stroud, the 2 Ds in D&D. We're 2 best friends who decided way back in December of 2011 that we wanted to share our love of Survivor with all who would listen. Follow me on Twitter at Survivor_talk. Join our Facebook group at stwdd.com/Facebook. A special thanks goes out to Adam Klein, the winner of Survivor Millennials vs. Generation X, for providing both his voice and time for our show introduction. The amazing music you heard is Never Again by Breaking Benjamin. Thank you to Mark Percy, who creates all of our graphics and puts up with my OCD for each new graphic he creates. Thank you to Patrick Monroe, who spent countless hours designing our website and continues to provide support at all hours of the night. Visit our website at stwdd.com for quick and easy access to our most recent shows, as well as all of the others. Discover our 2 other podcasts, Rewind Fast Forward with D&D and Movie Talk with D&D. Check out our D&D store for shirts, hoodies, and even coffee mugs, or just look around and click on things. We couldn't create and produce our podcast without the financial support of our D&D patrons, as well as those who use our Amazon links. So thank you for going above and beyond and sharing in the fun of D&D. Become a D&D patron at stwdd.com/patron and enjoy immediate access to all of our shows prior to their release date. On a personal note, thank you to David for your friendship and for not telling me I was crazy about this whole podcasting thing. To God be all the glory. Thanks for listening.